You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collector's Nest, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and memes, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song to the break of dawn. Gonna run this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collector's Nest, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. What's going on, everybody?
What's up, everyone? We are at episode number 23, season 2.
Whoa!
And tonight, we welcome Reggie back to the show for a special beat 'em up episode. Welcome back, Reggie.
Welcome to be back, guys.
What's going on, brother? Thanks for coming.
Part of the furniture at this point.
I
All
know.
right.
I might only make him a co-host at this
Brent
point.
from Australia. How you doing, Brent?
What's up, Brent? We got another Aussie in the house. Let's go. How's your week been, guys? What have you guys been up to?
Been catching up on videos. Just getting ready for a show coming up, the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which I'm excited to be going to. See what deals I can find. Cool games, meet a lot of friends and fans at those shows. So really unique event. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I just caught your latest video, 10 games you've been playing at the moment.
Yeah.
Horizon Chase 2 looked awesome. I need to pick that up.
Dude, yeah, it's pretty intense. It's online now, so you can
that's
race
pretty
with
cool.
friends, which is great. So, but I would wait till it gets on like a PlayStation system or like Switch is kind of like weird when it comes to like that type of stuff because it's not pushing the game to its fullest. So yeah,
Oh, that thing's on its last legs. So yeah,
it's like 8 years old. The Switch system, like 7, 8 years. What's going on? I can't remember when it first came out. I think it was 2015 or 16. But yeah, they're pushing.
I think it's 16, yeah. This week, there's been lots of rumors about the Switch 2 dropping, so I don't think it's too far away that we're going to get that announcement that the Switch 2 will be a year away or 2 years away. Or
You think it'll be backwards compatible, Figs?
no,
I hate that too. I think you're right too.
Like that, the Switch wasn't backwards compatible. I guess
sometimes
the Wii
they are,
was, but-
sometimes they aren't.
Yeah.
They're good. They've been good with handhelds, but they haven't. Who knows with Nintendo? I'm expecting it to be like a globe, and like the controllers are like little things you put in your butt, and you have to like spin around. And they're like, "Isn't this great? There's a new experience you've never had." That's what they're gonna
Nintendo
do.
does come up with like crazy ideas, so
They are. They're gonna be like, "All right, what you got to do is clip these little things on your eyelids, and then you got to." I was like, "All right, here we go."
that'd be intense if
feel
they
like,
did something like those like that show called, what was it called, Black Mirror, where they put those little eye contacts in and they would light up and they would take you to some virtual world.
Yeah.
All right, if
that'd
they
be
did
crazy.
that, that'd be dope. I'd be all right with that.
I feel like because of what happened with the Wii U, they won't bring out like a Switch that sounds like it's just an upgrade to the Switch. It'll be a different system because they don't want people to be like, oh, it's just like a upgraded Wii. I'm not going to buy the Wii U because the Wii U didn't really sell that well initially. And a lot of people out there just thought it was another Wii.
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
think what killed the Wii U too was just the fact that they were like, "Hey, every developer, do you want to develop a pain in the ass version for us?" And they were like, "No, dude, we're just do PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Why are we going like the tablet? Like every version of the Wii on the Wii U has to incorporate that tablet some way." And I just feel like that's a pain in the butt. I'm sure that just wasn't appealing to most people. And then it was like one of those like self-fulfilling things where the install base sucked, so that made it even less appealing for these people to want to do it. So then nobody did it, and so then nobody wanted to buy the console because there was no games, and it just like, I don't know, like the library on the Wii U is tiny. was like 180 games or something in the US or something. It's like,
And then
Yeah,
how
it's
many
kinda
of those are exclusives? Not many at all, really.
It's like the Dreamcast of its time. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. That everybody knew that system wasn't going to be successful when it came out. They just, I don't know, like successful to a level like Nintendo expects. Like the Wii before was phenomenal. Like that, the Wii system
insane.
got people who didn't play video games to buy that system. Like even my grandparents, they loved the Wii bowling on it. You know, it was just like,
Everybody
wow.
I know had a Wii, dude. Like you said, everyone had Wii Sports. Like it was no matter where you went.
Well, it was so accessible to people because it was cheap. It wasn't. You didn't have to go and spend $500 to get this video game system. You know, you could spend $150. Secondhand ones were going for $100, even less. A couple of years after they came out. You know, it was really accessible to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I guess they sort of done that with the Switch Lites. Like Switch Lite, you can pick up for $100 these days. And you can play Switch games on the Switch Lite. You just can't play them.
If I get one for $100, then I might just like actually finally dock my Switch system because it hasn't been docked in like for a long time. I feel like this thing has been collecting dust. But yeah,
I actually find that interesting, Reggie, because I play mine more docked than handheld, and it
really
has to be like a certain game that I'll start playing it, and I want to. Oh, I'm having heaps of fun. I kind of want to play in bed, or I want to play outside, or something like that. But I'm mainly playing mine docked.
Not me, man. I'm always playing in handheld.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't even think about docking. Matter of fact, the only time I actually dock it is when I'm capturing footage for it. But then I found out a way to capture footage without docking it. You could all you gotta do is just hold the picture button, and it'll copy 30 seconds of your previous gameplay. You just copy that to a drive, and boom, you're good to go.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. That's awesome. Life hacks right here. Joe, what have you been playing at the moment, man?
Oh my goodness. So I mean, like always, I just get it. I'm still addicted to Beat Saber. I play it every morning for like an hour and a half or an hour every day. And then I've been playing that Undermine game that I showed off that I picked up recently.
I did check out some. I think you were playing it on Twitch or YouTube the other day, and I was watching for a little bit.
Yeah, I started streaming it on YouTube. It's like a roguelike game, kind of like Binding of Isaac, if you're familiar with like the way that game is structured. But it's like, you know, each time you go, you try to get farther and farther. You unlock items, upgrades for your character, stuff like that. It's fun. It's addicting. I love stuff like that. It's one of those like just one more run games, and I'm like really into those where I'm just like one more, and then like I sit there, it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, all right, just one more. But like, you know what I mean? But you're like, I can't. Dude, it's just so fun. Addicting.
I know what you mean. I don't know. I got some kind of like random thing to play, like fighting games. That we did our fighting games video, and I played Under Night. That like in the middle of the night. I think you guys saw me playing it.
Yeah,
and I played all the way through it and had a great time with it. You know, fighting games are kind of funny for me, like verse fighting games, because you know. I feel like they don't make them like they used to because they're always like unpolished when they first come out. But the old school games just feel like they were done and ready to go. So I can always go back to something like that. But yeah, it was fun playing Under Night. And I have been playing some older games. I'm looking at my list of games I've been playing recently. I got into Dead Island Reptide. Have you guys ever played Dead Island before?
Oh, hell yeah.
I did back in the day, yeah. Heaps of fun.
Yeah. I beat Dead Island Part 1. I'm at the last boss on Part 2, but I never beat Reptide. So I was like, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and play this one too, because this one's fun. And that was addicting. I got pretty far in that. And pretty much I've been playing like, just a couple of games. Well, Resident Evil Code Veronica was playing last night, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was looking at like Resident Evil, like, you know how they're talking about like after Resident Evil 4 remake came out, which Resident Evil should they do next? I'm like thinking like Code Veronica should be done next because that's going to be the hardest one for them to do. And I was playing it last night, and it's like, dude, I forgot how hard that game is. Yeah, like, that's the hardest Resident Evil game out there.
I never beat that one. That was like at the time when I gave up on Resident Evil. Like, yeah, I 1, 2, and 3. I loved it, and played 4. I didn't pick up at the time because it was on GameCube when it came out first, and I didn't have a GameCube. But I did pick up Veronica, and I played some of that, and I got my ass kicked, dude. I played on Dreamcast, I think. Sure.
It's tough. I'm not gonna lie. The item management and all that stuff. It's like you got to know what you're doing, and because this game will whoop you up. You could get actually stuck in this game if you don't have the right amount of items to fight like certain enemies. So you gotta be careful. But yeah.
You can do that in any Resident Evil game if you suck.
Well, I wouldn't say like Resident Evil 2 or 3 because they give you enough ammo in those games usually, but I guess you could.
2 is pretty fair. 2 is much more fair, I feel
right.
like. Which is why I feel like everybody loves 2 the most because it's like the most forgiving of all of them. 1 was brutal in my opinion.
Oh, Run.
I could be like I was either too young or whatever, but I could struggle with that game. I didn't beat it until I was like way older.
Yeah, those hunters get in the house, man. That's a game changer.
One shot, you chop your head off, dude. I got PTSD.
And it's terrifying. It's like, dude,
man. You're like, no, God damn it.
One thing about Resident Evil games for me was the terrifying thing is like getting killed. Like, how bad would you get killed? Like, you get eaten by a snake, decapitated, stabbed up. It's like, dude, like I don't want anything to happen to my characters. Like, I feel like they were real. Like that was the closest as we got to a real human being in the game. Like, you know, Resident Evil was FMV with the 3D graphics. I was like, yes, this is where I wanted to be at. But yeah, so pretty terrifying.
Yeah, well,
and it holds up today, so it really stands the test.
It does.
Which is the biggest thing for games. I've been grinding GeoGuessr, as I mentioned. I had finished my first ever competitive season, and I ranked 672nd, I think, in the world out of like 100,000 people. So I'm fairly happy with that, and I think I'll do a lot better next season. So it's one of those games that you have to put the hours in to like learn all the different things, learn the languages of different countries, learn like what countries have got different stop signs and different like bollards and different things like that. But I'm having heaps of fun playing it, and I'm getting into the community, which is fun again. It's good to get back into like a certain game community because every game has a massive community out there. Like if you get into one game, you find out there's a big Twitch community, there's a big YouTube community, there's Discord groups for it, and you have heaps of fun. Doesn't matter what the game is. Apart from that, Starfield, I'm like 100 plus hours in, still haven't finished the main story.
How far are you in the main story at least? Like what percentage do you think you're in the
I don't even know because the game doesn't tell you. It doesn't hold your hand, doesn't tell you the percentage completed. It just gives you the world and you got to complete it.
Wow.
I've completed over 150 like side missions. But yeah, I feel like I'm less than a quarter of the way through. It's such a big game. So good. If you've got Game Pass, a PC or an Xbox, highly recommend it.
Okay.
And 1,000 hours also. Don't forget.
And 1,000 hours to go with it too. Got to make sure you got that time.
But it's not an MMO, so you play it on your terms. If you've got an hour a day, you play an hour a day.
I know how I would play it. I would play the main story, and then after I beat the main story, then I would like go after the side quests and all that. Because if you like the story enough, then you'll want to do the side quests, and that'll be my inspiration. So yeah, I'll play it like that.
No, I get that. I feel like it's did you ever play The Witcher 3? The Witcher 3 had side quests that
I wanted to, but I got intimidated. I was like, man, I don't have time.
That's all.
Side quests in that game were unlike anything else. They felt like main missions because every side quest was individual. It had its own story, and it was great. It was and so Starfield's really taken this on board. Like some of the side quests I've done in this game could be like their own video games in just this story. That absolutely blown my mind away. It's really cool.
Oh, you got from 5 Slotham. Thank you.
Thanks for the
The
donation.
way is made clear when viewed from above. Right on. Cool, man. Cool. But yeah, Starfield. I feel like I'm gonna get an Xbox Series X pretty soon. I think so.
Me too.
I'm really excited to get that system. I actually wanted that over the PS5. I felt like that was going to be the system that really pumped me up. So playing Starfield on that system, I think it'll be a unique experience for me. On the PS5, I haven't played a game that really like wowed me a lot besides Horizon Forbidden West, which I liked the game, but it had some weird stuff going on in it as well. It wasn't as good as the first game, but I did like it. But I feel like the Xbox Series X is going to be the system for me, especially with the backwards compatibility and be able to play games like Dead Space and like higher definition, dude. And I can't wait to play Dead Space 3 on it with a friend because that's going to be fun. Like playing Dead Space 3 co-op is so much fun. And I love that they have that backwards compatibility with the original Xbox. Sony kind of lost that battle with backwards compatibility because
gave up. They didn't even try to fight.
The father of the PS3, Ken, I forgot his name, but he made the PS3 so difficult to work on. You know, it's a powerful system, but it's difficult for developers to work on that system. And doing backwards compatibility on the PS4 would have been a nightmare because the engineering and everything, it would have been more costly. Even though people would have paid more to have that backwards compatibility, it just sucks that it's not there. You know, we feel like we're kind of lost with certain generations. Like to play a PS2 game, you got to have up to a PS3. PS4 won't play, and the PS5 won't play it unless you download the game. And it's just, even if you own it, it just sucks, dude. So yeah. So I don't want to go off on a tangent, but you guys know where I'm coming from.
No, you're right, Reggie. And moving forward, if we're going to see PS3 games on the PS5, they're going to be remade games. They're not going to be ported from the PS3 because they can't do that. And that's why we
too costly.
Limited run PS3 games because they're too expensive. It doesn't make sense. You see them all on PS4. And unfortunately, as much as I love the PS3, I don't expect to see new PS3 games coming out anytime soon because of how hard it is to get the content working on this system. And it was because of piracy and new technology.
They were too protective, and it kind of bit them in the foot later on because Sony didn't understand, like, everything gets pirated. You can try to control it the best you can, but they were trying to like stop piracy completely, and it just, I don't know, man, it really like hurt them. I think people went at them.
That was back when a lot of companies were under the impression that stopping piracy would increase sales somehow.
Yeah,
like the people who were stealing this stuff would suddenly go out and buy a $700 PS3 and all their games and everything. Or no, dude, these are people who pirate are mostly just poor people who have no money and they can't afford it any other way. And if you take away their piracy, they will just not have it. That's all you're not going to grow anything. And then you like you said,
they'll go to the other competitor and play their
stop it.
Yeah.
I always wonder about that with Nintendo. I'm just like, how much like money are you making by going around and shutting down all these ROM sites and doing all this stuff? Like,
that was insane, dude. We lost a lot of good ROM sites because of that. They got scared. Like, I remember Dreamcast ISOs was a really good one I loved to go to. There was a lot of hacks and of course games and stuff, but Nintendo scared the crap out of everybody, man, because they got some crazy back in their pocket lawyers here in America. People are intimidated by them. Going back to Sony,
have to Switch Online for like $20 a month to play 8 games. Thanks.
I know, right? Cool. Sony. I mean, people are archiving this stuff because they weren't doing nothing with it. They were scared these games are going to be lost in time. So that's why a lot of people archive stuff. Like, you got to think about too, MAME. If MAME hadn't came out, man, we'd have had so many lost arcade games because they only cared about those arcade games enough to where they were making money. When they stopped making money, who cares? Throw it away. That's how they thought back in the day. So it's like kind of like a casino in a way. But going back to Sony real fast, the PSP system, their first handheld, very successful. But Sony was still mad that people were pirating and making it better than it was and everything like that. And they really tried to lock down the Vita, and it overall killed that system with the proprietary memory cards you had to buy for it. Insane. Like, you weren't getting enough. Yeah, the memory card was insane.
System, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, games were taking up so much space, and you had to buy those memory cards, and they were so expensive. And then you run out of memory. They only went up to 64 gigs. Some games were like doing the bigger games were taking up. I can't remember how much space they were, but it was taking up a lot. Where you still didn't have enough room with that memory card. So
Call of Duty take up half the memory card.
Yeah, and when they first came out, a decent sized one was insanely expensive. You're talking like $150, something like that. I used to work at Radio Shack during then, and it was like the Pro Memory Stick Duo or whatever. Like a 64 gig card that would have been like $150 at least, if not more. And the unit itself was a little more expensive. So, I think I ended up picking up a 3DS back then because the price was it was like $250 to get into a 3DS or like $450 to get into the Vita, and I was just like, I'm good.
You're good, yeah.
I went the same route. Piracy and Microsoft. There was an interview that Bill Gates did like 20 years ago where people were asking him about, do you know that Microsoft Windows is the most pirated product, blah, blah, blah. And he answered contradictorily saying, like, at least they're using my product, not the competitor's product. Like, if you fast forward to today, Microsoft kind of still have that mindset where Nintendo and Sony are, piracy, no, 100%. But Microsoft, like,
Microsoft are like, go ahead, please steal our shit. We don't care. Hey, open it up, hack away.
Well, if you look at like Dead Space 3, like, if you want to play Dead Space on PlayStation, you play it on a PS3. If you want to play it on Microsoft, you can play it on PC. You can play it on any Xbox, the 360, the Xbox One, the Series X. Like, I'm Sony through and through, but that sucks.
The only thing Microsoft did that I do not like is they did do they have that proprietary memory for the Xboxes. You have to buy those stupid expansion packs or whatever, and they're wicked expensive as far as I've been told. Like you can't just get like an external hard drive and toss it on there. You have to buy those special ones, don't you? Am I wrong about that?
I don't know. I'm just getting into the system, so
I'm pretty sure if you want to expand the memory on the Xbox, you have to buy like a Microsoft Xbox expansion memory thingy, and it's like very expensive.
How much memory do you get out of the box with the system? Like at least a terabyte?
2 terabytes?
So the
Who owns-
series
anybody here
S
own one?
is only
This is the-
500 gigabytes.
What's the PlayStation clock this bug? I don't know. None of it.
The Series S famously can't install one of the Call of Duty games because the Call of Duty game is bigger than the console. Like,
Wow.
how funny is that?
That's absurd.
Call of Duty, man.
Why? What could possibly be going on in Call of Duty that requires it? How many skins do you need?
I only play the story modes when they had story modes for them. I think they still do. But yeah, I don't play online in those games at all. I just like the stories they have, and that's I go from that. I think the last Call of Duty I played was story-wise was either Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3, and then that was it.
Yeah,
I was
Black
in it
Ops
for the
2 is
zombies.
really good.
The zombies were the goat for me. I love zombies.
Yeah, that was fun too back in the day. Wow, I forgot about that.
You had to be playing with someone, you know. You get your mates around and you do like Kingdom to Tone or something, and you play it all night.
Zombies is a interesting experience though, because it's like you just play until you lose. Like you can't win, or you can win. Actually, like isn't there a way like you can unlike certain
win.
modes?
No,
I
you
thought
can't
there
win.
is.
We played. I think
Later on?
The first
thought
one I played the zombies in was Call of Duty World War, or I can't remember
Yeah,
which
that
one.
was
It
the
older.
first one. World War.
And we played that sucker. We were getting far in it, man, but it got too silly to where the zombies came at you. Like they came at you super fast. They were glitching through doors that you locked and everything, and we got killed like that. So yeah, this is not meant to be beaten. It's just get as far as you can.
Yeah, so the way the world record works is the world record's the highest level you get to.
Okay.
I thought that in like the newer, I mean, I stopped playing it, but I thought in like the newer ones, they all had like a bunch of secret crap and Easter eggs, and you could unlock this and do this thing, and like I don't know.
Yeah, so in the newer ones, the world records are how fast you can get the Easter eggs.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, but the old ones are just how many levels can you survive?
Those are fun games though. I mean, but I'm with you, Reggie. Though, like I only buy the ones that have a story mode. I want a one-player mode in every game I buy or play.
100%.
I don't. Online only stuff is fine, but to me it has no lasting appeal.
Yeah, we agree on that because we kind of talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th. Yeah. Those games had a single player mode. It would definitely be more worth it for everybody else to get a physical copy for it, because it's single player, you don't have to worry about online going out or whatever like that. You still have a way to play the game. But officially, when a game just has online, like they did with Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for the PS3 and Xbox 360, they only had online modes. When those online servers shut down, those games become coffins. Kind of like that game Mag, which was on the PS3 as well. Mm-hmm. You guys remember that game?
I played that.
Yeah.
Wish I played it.
Dude, that game was fun as hell, but those servers went down. The game's a coffin, so.
Yeah,
it's a good point you bring up because an online game almost has like a window that if it doesn't make it in this certain amount of time, people aren't going to play it or it's not going to make money. So it has to release. It has to be big on release. It has to get a big player base, and it has to keep the player base playing because if a player base drops from 1 million players to 10,000 overnight and people can't get games and they're not having fun, they're just not going to play it,
And that's a huge point about online only games is that your enjoyment is like, it's like now based on how's your internet connection doing? Is there other people that want to play it? And how's their internet connection doing? So like you've added all these factors into whether or not you can have fun. And like, you can sit there sometimes just waiting for a match for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And like to me, like, I'm just like, dude, I would rather play a one-player game. I'd be 30 minutes deep into the story. It's like,
I saw a thing on Reddit where people were complaining about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, like some people were ready to play and there was no freaking like villains were filling the slots and nothing like that. So they had to keep waiting like damn near 15 minutes before some villains came in. The family came in and they could play a match. I feel like, they got to make some kind of AI bots in single player so you can enjoy some kind of experience with these games,
Dude, I played a game the other day where the people you have to have a leather face Like you can't just have
Yeah.
3. And I took me like 10 minutes because they wouldn't pick Leatherface. I'm like, I've never seen this before. Normally everybody fights over who gets to be Leatherface. Like if you get Leatherface, everyone wants to switch and like, can I be him? Can I be him?
Mhm.
But like it was so funny. Nobody was picking him and it kept timing out and kicking. I'm like, dude, oh, this is insane.
Yeah. They want Leatherface to be in there, man, because he brings that sense of like like it's unnerving because you can hear that chainsaw going off. You don't know where it's at. You know, they take
right away
Leatherface
at
out
the
of it.
beginning.
You know, you have a little bit of more chill time. You're like, okay, nobody's down here. I don't hear that chainsaw. I'm not close to it. I'm good to go. But if he's down there with you, just hearing that chainsaw, man, just makes you like second guess everything. Like, oh, should I do this? Should I go back this way? Should I just hide? It's terrifying. So he has to be in the match. I understand why he's in the match in all matches.
It would be weird if he wasn't in the match from an outside perspective.
It would be.
I'm sometimes if I don't like the yellow flashing thing's the only reason I even know the other people are bad guys. I think they're good guys. I can't even tell. I see them running around and I'm like, oh my god, no, that person's stabbing me! Damn it, run! It's like I don't know, but the yellow helps. But yeah, I don't know. That game is intense though. Like I like that though. That it's not many games that like give me actual anxiety, and I do enjoy that. Which is funny. It doesn't sound like you would, but I do like that feeling. Like I get real panicked. Like you actually get your heart pumping. You're trying to get away, and it's good.
Well, I mean, like with these crazy type of games, most of us grown up with like platform games, puzzle games, but beat 'em up games really kind of like really was like one of my favorites back in the day when I was a kid, you know. And the first game for me when it came to beat 'em ups was Double Dragon of the arcade game. Yeah, dude, I love that. I remember my brother took me to this donut shop. I can't remember how old I was, but I saw that game, man, and I saw like the teens playing it. And they were like doing the elbow and like just going through the game. I was just so impressed with it. But I'll never forget how much fun I had with that game. But when Double Dragon 2 came out, that was the one that was crazy because that game was so popular that they had a crowd of people around it. They had a TV on top of the arcade game so everybody could stand around and see what was going on in the game, which was crazy. And I was like, dude, I remember that. I remember a guy put the quarter in the game, and it has like the guys about to take Mary and everything, like punch her or whatever, like to carry off. They shot her ass dead in the street, dude. And seeing that as a kid, dude, that tripped me out, man. Like I was like, I just, you know how children are, man. They know when something bad's going on, and I felt that. I was like, dude, what is this? Like it tripped me out. And then I finally played that game. It was a bit different getting used to the controls, but I was able to beat it. But it kind of reminds me of the NES version when Marion gets allegedly killed at the end of the game. If you play on Supreme Master, she freaking like mysteriously comes back to life if you beat the final boss, which was a happy ending for the kids. But the arcade game was more realistic. Like she got shot dead, she's gone. And the only thing you would get, you get your revenge at the end if you beat the game. But all you would get at the end of the game was a Polaroid picture of Marion, like the fun times before she passed, and that was it. And I was like, that tripped me out as a kid, dude. I mean, I understand what they did with the Nintendo version, but man, that was, I don't know, man. But ever since then, yeah, it was a different world. Ever since then, though, that was my time, like really getting pumped up for like beat 'em up games, I would say. And I remember my first one that a true beat 'em up game I got as a kid that I loved dearly was Turtles in Time. Man, when I played that, I was like, dude, this is it, dude. Like this feels like true arcade action. Because we did have beat 'em up games on the NES like Double Dragon 2, Double Dragon 3, Final Fight, Mighty Final Fight. What else was there? There's a Team Ninja Turtles arcade game, even though it didn't feel
that was all right though.
It was all right. Manhattan Project, which I mysteriously played after Turtles in Time because the way the game was released, I just didn't play it. But the Super Nintendo era, Genesis era, beat 'em up started kind of like getting closer to the arcade feel, which was nice. I'll never forget this Christmas, 1992. My mom bought me, she got me Turtles in Time, and I got Contra 3 all in one Christmas.
Oh hell yeah,
that's Christmas ever.
So dude, I was like, man, like I was like, I was even as a kid, I was tripped out, man. So of course I put Turtles in Time in first. Felt like the arcade, close enough to the arcade. It was great. I mean, they even added extra stuff that the arcade didn't have, like the Technodrome level with throwing the foot soldiers at Shredder, stuff like that. It wasn't arcade perfect, but it was close enough. So that experience I'll never forget. Contra 3 wasn't an arcade game, but it was still like an arcade
Oh,
experience. So there was so much going on in that game.
Still my favorite Contra.
So you know what's happening. You remember that level when this is a trip that changed the subject, but with Contra, there was this eerie scene, Figsy, where on the third level, you would fight these two skeletons, and then when you beat the skeleton, you think you beat the level. No, that's not it. There's eerie music that will start playing. You see these hands come up behind this pillar. And this freaking monster will pull a pillar apart. It's like the skeletal monster. It was so trippy. It looked so demonic. And you didn't get like 30 lives in that game. You got at the most 7 lives, so you had to make it work, man. And I'll never forget how intense that battle was. And then the next level didn't hold back. You're on these freaking jet bikes. You climb up on this helicopter. They shoot the missile. You're hanging onto the missile, like going after it's so insane. But that was best Christmas ever. But anyways, that was where I started like playing more beat 'em up games because they were on like more they were on 16-bit systems now, so they were closer to arcades. So I felt really good about a lot of stuff that came out. Super Double Dragon was another good game, even though it wasn't arcade, but it was still something very solid I liked as a beat 'em up. I'm trying to remember more stuff right now. Hyperstone Heist, which was like the sister game to Turtles in Time, that was pretty good. It's weird. Like I'm drawing blanks with some of the games I played back in the day.
I started out like with you. I was Double Dragon, I think was the first one I can remember, and that was but for me it was on the Master System. That was the version I played. Didn't really get to play it in the arcades that much, and then I'd say like the first one that I loved to death was Golden Axe on the Genesis, dude. That one, oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I played through that one. Just 1,000 times. Loved that game to death. That was a big one for me. On the arcades, the Ninja Turtle one is always just, the Ninja Turtles. I was obsessed just in general. I'm sure like most people my age are, but it
was weird in that game because like if you watch the cartoon like I did, you were seeing the Turtles actually get beat up by Rocksteady and Beaver because they were actually tough bosses in that game. They were. But I'll never forget I think one of my favorite scenes in that game was when Krang comes out and they start playing Krang's theme. And I was like, dude, that was so freaking awesome. And you're fighting Krang. And when the trippiest thing in that game, everybody's got to agree, man, is when Shredder comes at you and he starts multiplying. Dude, we had all 4 turtles then, so there's a bunch of Shredders we were fighting. We're like, which one's the real one? And like everybody, we're kids and everything, so everybody's like going crazy trying to beat them and everything like that. But when you finally beat them, man, it's so cold, man. When Shredder, they leave Shredder laying there, and the Technodrome, they leave, and the Technodrome blows up while Shredder's just laying there like dead or whatever like that. It's like such an eerie, trippy scene. But yeah, man, moments like that, man, I'll never forget. And that game actually never really got a 100% official port until I think the Konami Turtles games came out, like Battle Nexus and some other stuff I can't really remember. The Turtles arcade game for Nintendo was okay, but it has some exclusive levels on there too. But obviously it's 8-bit; it wasn't gonna fill that void that the arcade game was doing. So.
My experience with beat 'em up's a little bit different. Andy just mentioned the Simpsons arcade game. That's the only beat 'em up that I can remember from my childhood. And then I really didn't get back into beat 'em ups until the PS3, where I've got a bunch of PS3 beat 'em ups that I'll bring on today. But they're a little bit different. Most of the PS3 beat 'em ups I played were kind of more beat 'em up / open world genre. They're still that classic beat 'em up style, but they're in an open world genre. And
yeah, I get you, man. Because the beat 'em ups we're talking about, they could be beaten with under an hour or whatever. Like they're pretty quick. Obviously they're meant to take your money.
Games.
But you bring up The Simpsons, which was a good one, but I wanted to bring up one that a lot of people don't talk about. And I know, Joe, you know this game. It's one of Konami's last beat 'em up games that I know of. It was called Bucky O'Hare. You remember that one?
Yeah. Bucky
O'Hare was such a good game, man. And they need to get that ported somehow, man, because people who are watching this video right now, one of my favorite levels on that game is the climate converter level. And it's this level where you freaking shoot up, like the gravity pulls you up into like the sky, and you slowly like going down to the ground on the level. It's like so cool how it looks, man. And I'll never forget how like fun it was playing that game. It was actually one of the longer beat 'em up games, which is funny though, is that Bucky O'Hare used to be a cartoon and a comic book. The arcade game concludes the cartoon series, which was on a cliffhanger. So
really,
it's kind of you never see that happen. They actually finished the story on the arcade game. So that maybe they gave people incentive to play it, and it ends the story really well if you beat the game. It'll cost you a little bit of money, but maybe $5 if you don't know what you're doing, but that $5 was a thrill, and that's the game that should get like released. Even if it's 1UP Arcade, it does it. They got to get that as some kind of physical release, man, because that game is so good.
I love when a game adds to a movie that, like, I love, a little bit off topic, but I love the movie Scarface, and the video game in the movie Scarface, it ends, but the video game changes it and it gives you like a different story, and like that was amazing for me because I love the movie and I feel like I got to play the sequel, which never actually came out.
Well, we were all bummed out in Scarface, man, because we wanted him to win, but he was too coked up to pay attention to what was behind him, and that ended him, unfortunately, man, because he's taking all those guys out because he's on the high ground. He was smoking all those guys coming into his face. I mean, dude, those guys are dumb as hell because obviously you take cover when you're down there, but. Anyways, movie.
And if you haven't played the video game, it continues from that scene. Yeah. And you're all coked up, but you win in the video game.
And you rebuild your empire, which is great, dude. So,
they should make that game today with all the drug references.
They should have had like a cocaine meter that went slowly down and you had to like replenish to what the game.
Well, a game that does that. There's a game.
Like the Fury meter was the cocaine rage mode.
Have you guys ever played Narc? On the PS2 and Xbox, so they remade Narc. They remade Narc on the PS2 and the Xbox, and it came out as a budget title. It was $20. It's under this thing called a big hit friend prices. $20 for a game, awesome, right?
Sure.
In that game, you play as narcotics officer, but you actually could do drugs in that game. Every drug in the game will give you a certain kind of ability, and of course you had to watch it because if you did too much, you would get addicted, and you had an addiction meter that you had to fight. To kind of not black out. It's so trippy.
That's cool, man.
You guys gotta check that game out, man. It's still cheap. It's cheaper than $20 now, but it's definitely like a part of our history when it comes to like games and dealing with drugs and everything like that. Like they pulled no punches. Matter of fact, it was on like news reports. Narc was kind of like how Bully was when Jack Thompson or whatever his name was going after the Bully, saying this game is not for kids and need to ban this game from Rockstar and all that. BS.
Sure, it was banned in Australia.
It was banned in Australia first, dude, all places. That game did not need to be banned, dude. It's so weird. But
we didn't have R rating until 2007 or 2006, I believe, for video games.
Really?
So if it was above an M, it just got instantly banned.
There's a newer beat 'em up actually. It's called Mother Russia Bleeds. Have you guys ever heard of that one?
Yeah, I got it for Switch. Yeah,
that one
is brutal.
That one is another one where you inject yourself with drugs throughout the whole game. Like,
really?
Yeah, you have like needles on the ground. You pick.
I got to the part in the beginning where you're fighting guys and
you like roid rage out.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that's pretty wild.
Damn, dude.
That was a strictly limited release.
It is.
Reserve game.
Oh, it's a special reserve. I thought it was strictly okay.
Yeah. They have they came out with a Switch and a PS4 version. It's a pretty fun game. It has like a really badass survival mode, which I'm like, I love survival modes. I don't know, like in fighting games and stuff like that. I'm a big fan.
I love
those.
fighting.
I love survival modes. So same thing with like those types of games. I like just or like Vampire Survivor. I like games where you just like or zombies, like you just go and try to survive as long as possible. I think that shit's fun. So
right on.
Pretty cool mode in that game. But yeah, you should check it out. If you guys never heard of that one, it's a good one for a new one. Mother Russia Bleeds.
I played the beginning part before you like get kidnapped, and I was fighting some guys, and
the story is insane.
It looks like it gets insane because the way they gas you and kidnap you, I'm like, man, what the heck was going on?
It is it's very weird. And like when you take the roid rage, like the screen goes crazy and it's like all blood red, and you're like, like it's just wild. It's a fun game though. I think overall though, like if I could pick one beat 'em up that like from any that it needs a physical, dude, I want the X-Men one. That was like my favorite freaking beat 'em up, dude, ever. Like in the arcade, I love that, especially the one. I mean, obviously can't recreate it at home, but the 3 screens. I think it was 3.
It was.
Yeah. Oh,
it may be. I think it was 3. I think it was 3.
2 or 3. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was 3 because they had like 5 controllers on it, if I remember.
And you had to have space and everything too. So yeah, it was 3.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, that was my first experience with that game. Seeing it as a 6-player game where everybody was playing it, dude. And I remember my first time playing it. The only slot that was open was Colossus, so I played Colossus the whole game, which I was totally fine with. I don't want to play as Dazzler, but dude, we went through the whole game, dude. It was an amazing experience. Like freaking fighting, what was it, Nimrod? like Nimrod in that game. Like he was this weird looking Sentinel robot. That was his only weird design he had. It was a cool design of him, but you never saw that design in the comic books. Fighting the Juggernaut, and Juggernaut actually had a cannon, which I thought was his signature weapon, but only exclusive to the arcade. He has that weapon. Then of course Magneto, man. All those boss fights in the game, they really went through a lot of the old school villains, like Wendigo. Who else is there? I'm trying to think of. It was just really a good game. And you know what's funny? They released the game on the PSN and Xbox Live service, but they took it down after a while, unfortunately. And my buddy had bought it, so we shared an account. So I thought I was good, but you know, unless you had it on your account, like you know. They cut that out, man. So now I don't have the game anymore.
Yeah,
it sucks, dude. I know you love digital, right? But they say there's a way to mod the PS3 now to where you can like download all that stuff and still go online or whatever like that. I'm still looking into that, so maybe I'll find a way to download.
I wonder if you can get the Simpsons Arcade because that's a game that's lost. Basically,
I still have. That's the only one I have. Fixie is the Simpsons Arcade on my account. I still have that one available, but it's just
another one. It would just print money if anyone put it on the disc. Any company. Like why not?
I'm sure it's licensing because Limited Run have already tried. Obviously, that would have been one of the first games that they tried to get.
Somebody got in their way from doing PS3 games. Was it? Well, obviously, it probably was Sony. They didn't want to do it.
Well, they said that PS3 games were just way too expensive to do. Didn't justify the costs of the profit that you were going to make from doing PS3 games. That's why we got like Scott Pilgrim on PS4 and Switch. We didn't get it on the PS3.
Which sounds weird. It should have been more expensive on those systems because they were more modern. But I guess there was something like when it came to like copying the games or programming them on those systems, and maybe it would have been difficult. So I guess I understand. I'm happy to have those games like that on the PS4 and Switch instead of the PS3. Fixie.
Woohoo!
There you go, man. You got it ready to go. Yes.
I really had both versions, but this was one that I was like, in the comments of every Limited Run post going, please do Scott Pilgrim, and they did. So absolutely.
Dude, we wanted them to do that game so bad because I remember when it came out, everybody was so happy. Like, this game should be a physical. This is like the first game everybody was saying that should be a physical. And
264. They made 263 games before this.
Damn.
I know. That's the first one everyone thought of when they were
when it came to like the whole thing with the Scott Pilgrim, I think was holding it back was something with the music, I think. That's why they were having trouble getting the rights for it. I can't really remember, but it was like I know the creator of the game was really pushing hard to get the game released as a physical. Thank goodness it finally happened. We have another game saved because of that. You know, that's what I call it, saving games now. You know, making them physical. I mean, So,
well, I'd like to add that not all games deserve to be saved. There are some very terrible games that have physical copies.
Yeah, I would say actually a game I really liked doesn't deserve a physical, but it was this survival horror game I played back in the day called Amy. I really liked it at the time. It was a good. Well, I can't say that because this is like I thought it was good, but going back and trying it now, I was like, man, I kept saying this game should get a physical release. This is horrible.
But there's a way to do physical releases. I just watched your recent video, Reggie, and you talked about this completion of games, and you said it's not worth the money. Like the games aren't quality enough to be worth the money. And it was part 2, where if they released part 1 and 2 together, it might have been worth it because you're getting everything together. And, you know. Are
you talking about the Taito Milestones 2 collection?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Similar to that.
The Limited Run, they go down the Mutant Monsters or Mutant Madness has like 2 versions. It's an 8-bit game. Like, why do you release 2 discs for 2 8-bit games? It makes no sense.
The only way you would get those, even if they're bad games, it has to be a cheap price to make it worth getting. And then you don't want to have the thing about me. I mean, everybody has a unique collection. You don't want to have crap games in your collection. You know, a lot of people collect crap games because they think certain crap games are going to be worth money, or they just want to have a complete collection. I'm not into getting a complete collection because there's more shitty games out there than good ones. A lot more. So if you have everything, it's like, ugh. Like, it's like, Like I have a unique collection. And I'm sure you guys do too. Like somebody could go in your room, say they go and grab a game, it'll be worth it. You know what I mean? I think collecting complete collections is actually cool for a system you really like. I would definitely do it for PS1. I've gotten a lot of the heavy hitters out of it, so I would be safe getting the rest of the stuff. But for every system, dude, I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. That'd be tough, man.
But you
Especially
don't want to
for
buy every sport game for the PS1. Like I'm on the other side where I did complete the set, but now I'm like, I don't want those games anymore, and I'm selling those games off, and I'm enjoying looking more at my collection because every game's something that I love or
right.
excites me. And if I don't, I'm like, I'm gonna sell it because I don't want this anymore. I want my collection to be, that's my collection because everything I love in this room.
All killer, no filler, baby. That's
Yeah,
what you want.
exactly.
You
I
guys
feel like
think
my
collect-
collection is getting better, even though I'm getting rid of stuff because it's all just awesome stuff now.
Do you think collecting games would be a lot funner if like people weren't like I don't know, like if games weren't really worth money, like you couldn't really sell it for double the price anymore. If they just stayed at their value or went lower, you think the collecting game would be different now? Like you would see a lot less. I don't know.
I would say that's how it used to be, and I enjoyed it.
It was. It definitely was.
Yeah, I used to love finding a great game for like $5. When I say a great game, it's something that I've watched a playthrough of on YouTube, and I want this game, and it's cheap. Like that's awesome. And you get home and you play an awesome game for $5. Like that's great. Now it's like you want this good game, great, but it's $70. Or you can go on eBay and buy it for $100, and that's it.
Yeah, man. And those moments when you find a game like really cheap like that, it's like it's mind blowing. Like it's like, dude, it's like sometimes you gotta take a deep breath. Like I think I told you guys a story when I went to this antique mall and there was a clothing store and they had this glass shelf of games, and they were just sitting there. I say, how much are the games, miss? So $10. I was like, every game is just $10 a piece. Yeah. And I look down there and I find freaking Illbleed for Dreamcast and the Ring for Dreamcast. And like, dude, I'm like, wow. This is really happening.
Anything for Dreamcast. Thank you. $10.
I know, right?
Seriously, okay.
And
you had there's a bunch of TurboGrafx games for $10. Okay, I don't care what the hell it is. I'll take all of them.
Finding an expensive game on the cheap, man, it's just something like, I mean, it's fantastic. And I used to go to like Goodwills, and we have Value Village here too. I don't know if we have them anymore, but I remember I found the Last Blade for Dreamcast just going through the music CDs. I found the freaking Last Blade 2 for Dreamcast, which is a fighting game. Insane. I was like, man, those moments, I live for them. I actually calmed down though after a certain amount of time, but those I remember. I'll never forget those moments of finding games like that out there. So it was freaking fun.
I personally am on the I would much rather than be cheap thing, and I wish less people would be interested.
Yeah, because we would have more access again.
I'm not a reseller at all. Like I buy bundles and sell what I don't want to fund what I do want. But other than that, like that's it. I never buy like 5 copies of a game and invest and try to flip or anything.
So you don't look at your collection differently though now, like since games are worth money. Because do you ever have that in your mind? Like, well, maybe eventually I might want to sell some of this stuff and I can make some good money on it. Do you ever think that in the back?
Well, I think. Someday I'm gonna get old and sick, and my wife or girlfriend gonna need the money, sell it.
Right.
So I can't take it with me when I'm dead. So someday, yes, but it's never like something I think about often, and I'm always just like shocked when stuff is valuable. Like I'm always blown away. Like when everyone's like, "Hey, did you know that the Final Fantasy VII on PS5 is worth like $100 now?" I'm like, "What?" No, thank God I bought it. That's all I think about. I'm just like, thank God I got my copy. That's it. I don't even.
It's insane. I'm like, I don't.
It actually gives me anxiety because I gotta buy like Switch games and you never know which game is going to be the game that sells out, and now you can't get it, and it's $200.
You get that urgency, like I gotta buy this game before it goes up in price. That's what we deal with now. It's like, people are buying games because they want to make sure like they get it now, it doesn't go up in price, and they just pay a lot more money later to a secondhand seller. I totally get that.
Especially with
Reggie, that's interesting that you brought that up because I sort of look at my game collection. Like at the moment, it's kind of paying my bills because I'm not working. I'm just selling my video games on eBay at the moment. I'm not really been buying stock either. I've just sort of been focusing on selling my collection because I have this goal of getting it down to a certain size. And in the first 6 months of the year, I sold like 200 games. So it wasn't happening. Where now I'm really getting into that, but it's definitely like I sold a game yesterday for $350 and I bought it for $55 a few years ago. It's like that's something you don't get that type of return putting money in the bank or buying shares or anything like that. That's crazy in terms of video games jumping up in price. I never bought this piece with the intention of timesing it by 8.
This is the best investment I've made over the last. It's the value I put in. a third of what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, it's same. It's like, dude, and like I'm looking at my my game app right now, seeing the most expensive games, and I had no idea Resident Evil Gaiden went up in price. Like it is. It's like a copy now. It's like almost like $900.
So Resident Evil Gaiden, I sold a case only sun damage copy, no card, for $500.
Wow, dude. And your the box version you have is the one with the life raft on the cover?
I sold the US version. It went to an American buyer.
Oh, okay. Wow. See, that's insane, dude. But it's actually I still remember when this game came out. I was in the army in Korea. I remember seeing it at the PX store and nobody was buying it. It was a bunch of them. Who would have thought this game would have been priced like that? That's insane.
Crazy,
like
right?
Yeah, and people want it. They want to have it because there's people out there want a complete Resident Evil collection or their version of a Resident Evil collection. And I get it. I'm just happy I got a lot of this stuff before it went up in value. Like I was always ahead of the game when it came to like collecting games like on the cheap. You know, I wanted to collect for the cheap because it was a thrill getting the games on the cheap. But I just wanted to kind of like get stuff before everybody like started looking at it. Like when people were looking at Super Nintendo and stuff like that, I was already looking at Game Boy Advance stuff and other systems that nobody was looking at. So I got a lot of stuff cheap. But once people caught on to that stuff, took off. Like I remember when Genesis stuff took off. I was like, dude, what is going on? But luckily I got most of my Genesis games before they went up, which was nice. I couldn't imagine buying a lot of those games now, you know.
I had to bring something that's a little bit controversial, and some people, I won't say you guys will, but there's some people out there that like to collect expensive video games because they're expensive. Like a game could be $10 and they won't care about it, but if it shoots up to $50, then they suddenly want it for their collection and will go out and buy it. I see that a lot in the Facebook groups.
Yeah. I don't know, man, if they're doing it just to fit in or whatever like that, or just to show a little bit of flex. But I like buying stuff on the cheap, man. Like I'm not trying to buy nothing expensive. I mean, I get it if you really want it and there's no other option. But yeah, I feel like I come from an era where we were buying games on the cheap where, you know, I'm just used to it. Like I came from an era when people didn't give a crap about these games. Like we were getting them like for like dollars, you know. But as soon as you people get pumped up about them, man, like everybody gets into it and it changes the market. Like I'm pretty sure the same thing happened with like baseball cards and comics back in the day. Yeah. You know, same thing with video games now. So
they would nickname the junk wax era of cards because no one wanted them, and then suddenly they're in again. There's a saying that I've heard for years, and it's when you're collecting games, you don't go for what everyone else is going for. You go for what no one's talking about, because every system has amazing games. Like the Wii right now is a great system to be collecting. The 360 is a great system to be collecting because
I'm with Reggie where I'm like, now that they've announced the digital only Xbox, I think it's time for me to finally buy the Xbox and move into get some Xbox stuff. Like now is the time. But anybody else listening, not for you. Not for you. You buy DS is the time. DS is what you want. Nintendo DS.
I'm gonna grab some water real fast.
All right, go.
Yeah, you're right, Reggie. When Reggie gets back, we'll get into the quiz. But while we're waiting for him, I think we'll get chat's question up.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to pull the scores up quickly. Bear with me. So, as you guys know, we have a quiz for you guys in chat every week. And the way it works is if you get the question right, you get 1 point. First person to get 5 points will win themselves a video game shipped anywhere in the world. So, right now, Jason Trickster's got 4 points. So, he's only 1 point away. Mario's at 3 points. Banfi's on 3 points. Cyrus is on 2. And on 1 point, we've got Windy Corner TV, Jimmy J, Lulu Girl, The Collectionist, and Westman. So, chat, your question this week, we need the full video game title. First person to correctly name the title gets the point. Here is your question. It's not easy.
I got the top.
Yeah, I got the first one.
I have no idea what the bottom is. But now we have it. Oh, I can't give any hints. Never mind.
Yeah, no hints. This is for chat only.
I got some of them ladies' songs in my head. That's all I'll say. It's pretty good. It's so hard not to give hints, man.
I know I'm singing one of the songs at the moment too. Right, Joe, I'm going to volunteer you as going first tonight in the quiz.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You ready? You ready, dude?
Yeah, I had to grab my water.
Oh, that's a hell of a water you got there.
Oh, yeah. I drink a bunch of water before I go to bed.
Big shout out to Pavel this week. He's on holidays and still managed to pump out the quiz for us. So big thanks, Pavel. You do heaps for the podcast, and it's much appreciated. Reggie, Joe's going to be going first tonight. Reggie will be going second.
All right.
You know the rules. Let's get into it. Question number 1. So round 1's going to be a music round. Joe?
Oh God,
I'm going to need you to name.
I think everything is a square RPG. I don't know.
Final
Go
Fantasy
ahead.
VII.
Go ahead. Go
What
ahead.
video game is this music from?
I don't know.
Easy. You got that, Joe. That's easy as hell.
I know it is, dude, but I'm retarded, dude. You gotta understand, like.
Even I'll give you a hint. It's a
go
beat 'em
ahead.
up game.
I know it is. I think it's Streets of Rage.
It is Streets of Rage.
Right on, man.
Yeah, but see that it's worse when it's something I know, because then it's like so familiar. I think it's everything, and then I'm like,
Yeah. No, you're right. Because you're like, is it Mario? Is it something really simple that I know?
well, I know it wasn't Mario. I'm not that retarded.
Dixie, can you put that picture up of Streets of Rage again? I've never seen that full art picture before. Like at the bottom, it shows some of the freaking Blaze, one of the characters, not Blaze, but the dominatrix girl and one of the karate guys. I've never seen this art picture before of the first game. That's cool.
That's really cool. All right, Reggie, your question. Name the video game from this song.
You gotta be kidding me, because that's too easy. Double Dragon.
Not Double Dragon.
What? How did I mess up? Well, you gotta be kidding me.
You see?
Yeah.
Dixie messing with us tonight, man. Oh no!
Battletoads?
No! Yeah, dang! Yeah,
That
that's what I'm
was
saying.
the theme song from Battletoads.
Oh man!
So you kind of gave me a hint.
Well, Dixie, I think I was kind of right because they have that theme in Battletoads. Double Dragons, the game, the Ultimate Team. So like they have that theme in there, but it's like slightly different. But oh well.
I was after the Battletoads one. That was the one I downloaded.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to question 3. Joe, this one is for you. What PlayStation console has this controller?
What
Go.
the heck? It's hinted on the controller if you look at it. I could tell.
Don't. PlayStation 3?
PlayStation 3 is correct. Joe takes
Yep.
the point.
You could tell by the little icons at the bottom, like the 4 slots, like light up. Yeah. What? That's actually, is that an expensive controller, Fixie?
Never look one up to buy before, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but kind of cool to have that in the collection. Oh, this is part of PlayStation's history. Look at this controller.
The button placement is bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost like a main controller that you kind of needed at this point.
Dude, you know what I want? I want the I've been keep seeing it on Facebook is the PlayStation 1 Resident Evil controller from Japan. You ever seen that monstrosity?
Mm-mm.
It's like a special controller for Resident Evil, and it looks like you think the tank controls were bad before. It looks like way worse with this thing.
Oh wow!
I mean, they made a chainsaw controller, so I can only imagine.
It'll probably show up as a question someday in the quiz,
and you'll get it wrong.
And I will, and I'll be like, Street Fighter.
On Hill.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, moving on to question 4. This one's for Reggie. What many game objects in Mass Effect have symbolic names? Where the settlement of Armstrong lives. Where is the settlement that Armstrong lives?
Jeez, this is a tough one. And I love Mass Effect. I think this is my nephew's not watching because he's a big Mass Effect guy. He'd be mad at me for missing this, but I have no idea. I had to give passes to Joe.
I'm going to say the Neverland Ranch.
correct answer was, and you'll be kicking yourself because it was the moon.
I'm
There's
not
no way
kicking
I would have
myself.
thought of that.
I have no idea, bro.
I thought things were going to say you're correct. You were about to say you were correct. So he's like, the correct
That's a
answer is.
Neverland Ranch. That would have been really funny. It was
And
called
no
the
one's got chat's
Space
question
Neverland
yet, so there's
Ranch,
still a
so.
point up for grabs, chat. All right, guys, at the end of round 2, Joe's got an early lead of 2 points.
I got
Reggie's
3,
right behind
bro.
at 1 point. Oh, do you have 3?
I think so.
No, Reggie got the first point.
Mm-mm.
No, I got Streets of Rage.
Oh, did
I
you? Oh,
got
I'm sorry.
Battle
Yeah, I'm at 0.
That's why Joe keeps score. Joe's on 3, Reggie's on 0. I will cross that out. All right, moving on to question 5, Joe. What language do the Sims talk in?
Fucking gibberish?
That's what I was thinking too.
Not gibberish, Reggie.
Italian.
Pasta
Italian.
fagioli.
So they have their own language called Simlish.
Oh my god,
Okay.
that's hilarious.
I think my
All right,
girlfriend
moving
speaks
on
that to me
to
sometimes.
question number 6. Reggie, this one's for you, and it is a video question. So I'm going to show you the opening from an anime of what series of beat 'em up game?
Okay.
Soon turn to the pleasure, hound, and then we'll next be the treasure of someone else. Instead, but there's no one to take words with me the way, and there's no way to stay, no way to be paid to words. Someone else is supposed to stay, it's to make your own day.
Beautiful Joe, the most beautiful game out there in existence. I need to get that anime.
It's like running down from the treasure in shallow pool. Turn your shell, such pleasure for no reward. Soon turn to the
Dude, I gotta get that anime now. I've been slacking and I don't have it, but if I got that, I would have all the Beautiful Joe like retail items. You know, we almost Beautiful Joe Part 3. I guess Beautiful Joe for the DS would kind of be like Part 3 in a way. I don't know, but
Yeah, we got that fighting game on the PSP, right? Too Rumble or whatever.
people playing it. That one's a really fun one. But Beautiful Joe Part 1, dude. Oh my god, and Part 2.
Yeah, those games are great.
Yeah, such classics.
All right, moving on to question number 7. Joe, this one's for you. Now, this round's going to be our picture round for the week. What is the video game?
A lot of asses going on here. What the heck? Is this guy on the right supposed to be famous? Am I supposed to know who he is?
Yeah.
I don't know who anyone
But I reckon
is.
you could get it without knowing.
Dude, everything I'm thinking is wildly inappropriate. Did you just put the answer on the screen?
Andy! Oh my God. All right. Well, thanks, Andy.
I think I know what it is all of a sudden. I'm thinking. I literally saw the answer pop up.
Andy's fired from doing comments.
That's hilarious, man.
All right. Sorry, guys. We're moving on to the next question.
It's okay. I would not have got it. I was gonna say.
Yeah, I wouldn't got it either.
I was gonna say Pokemon. No, that's not what I was gonna say.
All right, moving on to
I did
question
enjoy
8.
looking at the question though. It's okay.
Reggie, this one is for you. Name the video game.
It's one picture. This is it.
It looks like it's a FIFA game, but I have to name the whole
It's
thing.
a very, very famous image. It's probably like the most famous game of all time that's ever happened. So
I am not a big soccer guy, unfortunately, so I wouldn't know it.
This should be on the European show. Why are you asking the Americans soccer question?
You're not wrong.
Dude, I'm doing terrible on this question here. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
So I know you guys aren't going to get this because you don't know what it is. So what's happening in this photo is this is Maradona. And this is a famous goal where he punched the ball and it was called the Hand of God. So the game is God Hand.
Oh,
Another
Yeah,
game
no-
by Clover Studios, the people who did Beautiful Joe. Their last game. It's a good game.
speaking of, that's considered a beat 'em up. Would you say, right? Got in?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's one of the ones.
Well, guys, we have a big final question, but before we move on to that, we'll give a quick score update. So Joe's got 3 points, Reggie's got 1 point, and I can confirm that 16 points are up for grabs in this final question.
Yeah, so the
So
whole
it is
everything, none of that mattered, Reggie.
anyone's game. Well, it's nice to get the head start, because if you don't go out first, you can end on the same amount of points. So Reggie, you'll be going first in this final round. What today is going to be video game characters' eyes. So you have to guess the video game character. I will take the character or the game as the answer, but I need the number correlated with the eyes. So Reggie, you're going to go first, and it'll take turns. Joe, you'll go second.
Yeah, you get 3 strikes. So if you get 3 wrong,
3 strikes,
you're
and
out.
then you're out.
Ooh, okay, here we go. Get pumped up. Number 7 will be Parappa the Rapper.
That is correct. 1 point.
5 would be.
Oh, wait.
Next
We take
question.
turns. We take turns.
Oh, take down. My bad. Sorry, I got too excited. Whew.
It's all good. It's all good. You'll probably clean all of them out. Number 1 is Half-Life.
Oh, that was. I should remember
Is
that one.
Half-Life. Joe
Gordon
takes
Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie.
Number 16 will be a Link from Legend of Zelda.
That is correct.
15 is obviously God of War.
15 is Kratos, correct. Reggie.
8 is going to be Claire Redfield.
Incorrect. Reggie has a strike.
Dang it, Figsy.
11 is The Witcher.
That is correct.
Ugh.
Reggie.
Oh, man, now this has got real tough all of a sudden.
They get hard real quick. You pick out the easy.
5 is Leon S. Kennedy.
That's correct. Joe.
I'm thinking 13 is The Last of Us.
That is correct.
Oh my God!
Good job, dude.
Damn, dude, I was not sure about that.
I'm thinking 11 is The Witcher.
Joe's already done that one.
Oh, sorry. Ooh.
It's all good.
Number 10 is Heather from Silent Hill.
That's correct.
Yeah, my
Nice,
Silent
dude.
Hill is unequaled.
You're out, Joe.
Well, that's my favorite Silent Hill game, so I've better have gotten that right.
I think 8 is Final Fantasy.
Incorrect. Joe.
Damn it! 8 is cursing us, Reggie.
I think 8 is Metal Gear.
Incorrect. Joe.
Okay,
Reggie,
all right.
second
That's
strike.
2 strikes. So be careful, Reggie.
Number
No,
8's giving you 3 strikes.
I'm not giving no
That'll
more.
do.
I'm not doing 8 no more. Let's move on.
I got to figure out 8, dude. It's gonna make me mad.
2 is driving me nuts because that's a weird looking face, and I know 2, and I can't.
Well, we know what game it's from.
Yeah, I would take the game as well. So take
I
that.
know,
Okay.
but I can't. It's
Good. If you know, I'll say the game then.
Okay, you can do 2
Oh.
then. All
Yeah,
right. Shit. 12 is Tekken. Is that Brian Fury?
Incorrect.
No.
Goes on a second strike. On 2 strikes each. Reggie.
Number 2 is gonna be Smash Bros.
Incorrect.
What?
Reggie is out.
Figsy, no! Bring me back.
Everyone's in the Smash Bros. You can't say that.
Sorry, I'm not taking Smash Bros. I need the game it's from.
I am screwed. 5 is.
5's been done.
Oh wait,
5
we
was-
did 5. Yeah, no. I'm stupid. I was looking at 6. I just can't read numbers. Shoot. Dude, these are all so familiar, but I can't put my 4. I know too. Gosh. I'm gonna say
4 is easy. Well, I can't tell you. Obviously,
No.
I know what it is. I should have did it, but that
I'm gonna
goofy
say
look.
12 is Metal Gear.
Incorrect.
No,
So
screw it.
So he's out. So
you're
Fixie.
both out. I will confirm that Joe wins this week's quiz, 7-5. Congratulations.
And Joe, the fourth one was Max Payne.
Yep.
Fourth one was Max Payne. So number 2, we were looking for Metroid.
Oh, Samus.
Yeah, nobody knows what she. Come on.
Yeah, she's always in a costume.
Her eyes. That's
Number 3 was Mass Effect.
Fixie, I was right because she's in Smash Bros. And that's how she.
I'm not taking Smash Bros.
Okay.
All right, number 4 was Max Payne. And number 6 was Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, okay.
Number
I almost
8,
guessed on that one.
8 was the one you got wrong. 8 was Lara Croft.
Young Lara Croft.
Number 9 was Uncharted.
Nathan Drake. Okay.
I knew one of them was Uncharted. I just
Alan
12
Wake.
was
Okay.
Alan Wake.
damn, he looks emo.
And 14 was Mortal Kombat.
No.
And I can confirm that chat have correctly named this week's question, and the winner
Nice.
goes to the collectionist, who named Pink Panther Pinkadelic Pursuit. Congratulations.
That's impressive. Congratulations.
That was tough. Well done, man. The collectionist now goes to 2 points. You are now only 3 points away from a video game, man. Well done. Good luck, guys. And Joe, well done on taking, I believe this is your 3rd win in a row.
On fire!
Joe is on fire.
That's because I didn't get no soccer questions.
Well, guys, I was thinking I could show you the chat some cool beat 'em up games that they might want to pick up as physical. So can I go ahead and start that real fast? Hopefully.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
This was
drink. Be right back.
Yeah. So this is the surprise I was going to show you guys. So basically, we talked about 99 Vitas here. This is the collector's edition for the PS4.
My goodness.
Also out for the Vita and Switch. But what's cool about this, so let's see here. This is how the game looks. So if you're interested in it, you can check out that. I think it's better than Scott Pilgrim, but some people think I'm a bit crazy for that. I think they're kind of like, they bring out the best in each other, I would say. So these games will be at competition as beat 'em ups. But very fun. This game takes a lot of reference to like Streets of Rage, I would say, like levels from a lot of previous beat 'em up games. A lot of unheard of games that people don't know about. Like this level right here is called The First of Us. That's the beach level from Streets of Rage Part 1. Not the first, the Last of Us level. They call it The First of Us, and you can change the backgrounds. I mean, how the levels looking again, comic book style.
That's cool.
Black and white.
I liked the Game Boy
Old TV.
style. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely something cool to be had. You can see me playing with friends.
I was like, wait a minute, where the hell John come from? Eh?
Yeah, I know. John all of a sudden appears now.
It looks like he's on the stream with us. So
But definitely, I would say check this game out, guys. I mean, it'll probably be more easy for you guys, people, to get the Switch version nowadays without breaking the bank. But
yeah, it's pricey.
It's considered the definitive version because they add the extra levels into the arcade mode, where the other versions you have to download the new levels and it costs like a certain price. So yeah, there's that game. I would say hopefully some people might pick it up.
That's awesome, dude.
All right.
Yeah, I was looking at
day one.
And yeah, I was looking and Slap. We were talking about Slapping Beans. The first one is very expensive now too. I'm kicking myself for not picking that up when it was available.
I know, man, and that's kind of crazy that game is gone.
That's what I mean by the anxiety, dude. I didn't think Slapping Beans was gonna be $100 game. Okay.
Well,
I just didn't. All right, I didn't think it was called Slapping Beans. How the hell?
Well,
wouldn't
the next
that be $100 game, Joe? Come on.
Yeah, well, who would have thought? I mean, that game adds a lot to it, though. I mean, it's a good throwback to like the old school spaghetti westerns and movies these guys used to star into. But at least you could get part 2. Part 2 is out, and that's on the cheap.
That got the first one was strictly limited, and
and
that's why it's so expensive. But I'm good for them for getting it retail.
Well, the next game we're talking about is Slaps and Beans.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
Show
definitely
off.
pick
You
this
got
up.
it. It's the first one I was just talking about.
Dude, these games are really a lot of fun. The music in them is really like, man, they did a good job with the soundtrack in these games, man. I was really impressed. Definitely, I think it's something that people will want to play. It's hilarious. There's always 2 players on the screen. Even if you don't have a second player, like the AI will control the second player. You can switch between them, which is nice.
Oh, no.
And each of them have unique abilities. And the game is like chock full of like bonus games. Like, there's a part where you have to like say these bananas on a boat, and you get all these leaks and the alligators attacking you. You have to like straighten out the boat so it doesn't spill the bananas. Like there's that scene right there. You get leaks and stuff like that. So
that's so cool.
It is. I was like, dude, like I couldn't figure it out at first. I was getting pissed, but then I started really looking at it. I said, oh, that's what you have to do. So certain characters have certain duties on the boat that kind of help it. And then here's the sound test. And while you're checking out the music, these guys are still fighting. So that's like, dude, these guys are dedicated, man. They're like putting in work. So I love it. Like, and
Look at the old dudes.
They fight differently depending on the soundtrack you use in this jukebox level right here. So if music's all fast and crazy, they get faster or whatever like that. It's like slow dance music, then they're like beating up people slow. It's freaking hilarious. So
that's really cool art style.
Yeah, that looked awesome. Reminds me of like Medellin back in like 1900s or something.
And next game here, of course, happy to have this River City Girls for the PS4 and the Switch. Definitely, they added some better features to this one where you could play online with people. Like, it was funny. Right there, you saw somebody join me online in the game. That randomly happened. So really impressive to have stuff like that happen, because it's just like when you're in an arcade, like you're playing a game by yourself. Also, somebody puts a quarter in and they join you. Like, yes, I got help. So that's why I like having the online feature like that. So definitely a cool game. I haven't beat this one yet. I beat the first one. But yeah, this one to me is just like more of the same. You got to relearn the moves that you earned from the first game, which is annoying. That's how Marion looks from Double Dragon now. They made her look like that, so that's pretty
wow.
What we talked about before the stream, which is hilarious. So yeah, that's what it is, I guess. But
she's looking better. She's looking better.
yeah, I guess so.
She's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
There you go. There you go. And next up here, I think this is another one we talked about on here. This is Asterix for the PS4.
This is when I was a kid.
Yeah, I never got into this series before. Like, I mean, I never watched the cartoons or whatever like that. But this game, the animation is great. Of course, unfortunately, it's missing co-op capability when it comes to like people joining you online. You can play 2 players couch co-op, but like as far as like someone joining you online, it's not a thing. But you can switch between characters if you're playing solo. So I guess you can change up the gameplay a little bit. But like I said, these games, they must have some kind of online capability, because the more people who play it, the better the experience is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Hopefully these developers will get some kind of something out that makes it easier. I would say to have some kind of online.
I love couch co-op. I love couch co-op. Don't get me wrong, but like anything that has that, it should naturally have an online play too, because like you should be able to play with your friends online. If it just makes sense.
100%. Yeah, you're right. Next game here, I didn't give this game a fair shake at first, because I just got through playing another great game right before we played this one. And that game is Final Vendetta.
That's a great game, dude.
It is, dude. Dude, I know. It reminds me of an old like SNK beat 'em ups, I would say. It's very
Final Fight or something.
Very well done. Yeah. Very impressive game, man. And I love how you could kind of juggle your enemies with it, but it's definitely something well put together. And I had a lot of fun with this one, but like I said, these games need to get some kind of online going, but you could tell the developers who made this game, they really enjoyed beat 'em up games. They really like follow a lot of the good tropes those games have. The detail those games need to stay interesting, and just overall is well done. Another thing I like about it, levels aren't too long, so they don't get like boring like certain other games, I would say. But definitely a game that a lot of people should try out, man. Pick up.
It's a really good one. Yeah,
it is. One. Definitely.
It's like very arcade difficulty, That's what you mean. Like it's not too long. It's like it feels like an actual game that came out in the 90s,
Mhm.
like an arcade. Like it's authentic as it can be. Yeah.
It
I
looks
love
like
it.
it too.
It's hard as hell too if you want to like once you see it. It's very hard.
Now, this next game, unfortunately, it didn't come out to America as a physical. You know, it only came out as a physical in Japan. They changed the name. It's called Belt Action. It's a bunch of Capcom games that were classics. Some didn't get released until this collection came out, but definitely a good collection of games are on here. You know, you got Final Fight.
Knights of the Round.
Knights of the
That's my
Round.
favorite one. I love
Captain
that game.
Commando, which I love that game. I love at the end of the game when you beat it, like Captain Commando finally speaks. He says Captain Commando when they ask him his name. I thought that was cool when I was a kid for some reason.
And you can pick the English version on the Japanese copy.
Yeah, you can pick the English and everything. So it's really a unique collection of games to have. I guess I could see why I didn't think this would sell in America. They just played it safe, sold it in Japan. But I'm just happy they added the English options for these games, and they added the 2-player, 3-player, 4-player version of these games. So if you have 4 people, and you can play online, I'm not sure how good the net code is, but you know, I guess some people will figure that out. But definitely worth getting to have these games.
I was always shocked that didn't get a U.S. release. I was like, because the Fighting Collection did, so I was just like, I just figured that would, but it never did.
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to fighting games, they are a bit different because the fighting game community is so strong, but the beat 'em ups community is not really.
No, it's
out there. It's non-existent.
It was when the arcades died.
Yeah, they died too, kind of. So next game here
is the resurgence. I'd say in the last couple of years is when beat 'em ups has all of a sudden gotten the love again. So
yeah, I agree. And those are kind of like the beat 'em ups that Fixie's talking about, like up from those ones that he's played, and the ones like Young Justice and Young Souls. Or
Joel just said that some of the games that you mentioned are available on Video Game Plus, which is up in Canada. So if you want to get
Video Game Plus, okay, there you go. Yeah, they reprinted a lot of good games now, which is awesome.
I'm always checking out this site, and it's like, oh, they're doing reprints of that. They got this out now. Like,
well, I found out they did reprints of PSP RPGs and DS games, like that game called Infinite Space. If you guys remember that one, they reprinted that one, which is a good game. So yeah, I'm like, whoa, they were the first company I've seen to do that. Next game here, of course, everybody should own this game. We got Streets of Rage 4. Now, you're probably saying, hey, Reggie, why don't you own the Anniversary Edition? Well, I do have the Anniversary Edition. I just kept the original cover for the older edition because I think the cover looks better than the Anniversary Edition. But Streets of Rage definitely brought back a lot of love for beat 'em ups, man. I mean, the combos you could do in this game, the juggles, I mean, it's freaking insane, man. I love it. And I love that they got Shiva as a playable character now. He was one of my favorites ever since Streets of Rage 2. Not so much in Streets of Rage 3 because he looked really weird in that game and just like kind of like he had done drugs or something and he lost his abilities. But in this one, he's back. He dropped the drugs and he's beating people up again. So
he went to rehab, turned his life around.
He turned his life around and he joined you to help you out to take out Mr. X or Mr. X's children, or whoever the boss was in this game. I can't remember, but yeah, definitely something everybody should own, I would say.
I saw a funny meme the other day. It was just a chicken on the ground, and it was like, when you're on the streets of rage. It just made me laugh. It is silly. I was like, oh, chicken.
Another game that's kind of similar to Streets of Rage, I would say. I wasn't really too sure about this one. Let me see if I have it on here. Right there it is. This is Mayhem Brawlers. This feels like a prototype of what Streets of Rage 4 is, like the way the gameplay is.
That's pretty good too. That's Red Art, I think.
Yeah, it's getting a release in America on the PS5 with extra DLC. I found out, so I think it's on Amazon. But it's pretty fun, and what's cool about this one is that when you beat a level, you get to choose the next level you go to. So the game doesn't stay like at one pace. Like, see how the comic books are there? Those are different levels you take on, and they have their own story, which is nice. So it's really cool how this game is, man. I'm really excited for the new version of it to come out to see what they added to it, But what they didn't add, unfortunately, is online play, and that's gonna be like a thing throughout this video. Like, some games don't have online play. I feel bad, but anyways, definitely check out.
Beat up werewolves and blazers. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So
that Dynasty is really cool too, with the arcades in the background and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good game.
Okay, next game here. let's see here. Hopefully I added it in here. I always got to make sure I added these games in. Oh, there it is. It's right there. I don't know how to use the hotkeys yet, so I'm doing it like the hard way. But this is Jitsu Squad, and this game was a total surprise. It's a 4-player game where you play as these animals that have ninja skills, and it's up to 4 players. Lots of arcade fun, lots of unlockables, lots of cool combos you could do. This game definitely feels like something out of an old school arcade. I was just pulling off all kind of crazy moves with this game, and it's one of those games that is great 4 players, but unfortunately, no online. But that's not going to stop you from experiencing how fun this game is. So definitely, I would say a lot of people will pick this up. If Fix, I got to ask you this, man. Do you like how I added the footage in, man? That was the surprise. Like, hey, when I show my figure,
I was gonna ask you, how do you do this? This is awesome.
Yeah, I show you how to do. It's easy, dude. Like, that's why I asked to do for an extra hour before we started, because I wanted to get all this stuff ready for you guys. But yeah,
definitely worth it. So cool.
Definitely, right on. So I got a couple more here. If you guys got time, of course.
Oh yeah,
I've been to the post office. I got all the time in the world. Joe's the
you're good to go with it. Right on. Now, you guys don't laugh at me for this next game I'm going to bring up to you guys. This game actually turned out to be freaking awesome. It's actually based off a series, and it's great. So also based off a movie that turned into a series. Let me make sure I get it ready here. There we go. We got Cobra Kai for the PlayStation. Cobra Kai Never Dies. Yes, this is a go out beat 'em up, man. It's freaking awesome. I had so much fun playing this, man, and dude, like it's just the moves you can do in this game. It's just like freaking hilarious. And the characters you unlock, obviously, people from the show, they got their likeness and voices and everything. You do these reverse moves. You could toss enemies on the screen. You could toss them into like these pinball machines and beat them up. It's just like it's freaking awesome. But look at that. Just right, get out of here. But yeah, it's a really good game that I think a lot of people should check out. It unfortunately it didn't release as a budget title, and the cover is not going to win people over. But still, if you decide to pick this one up, I think a lot of people will be impressed with it. I want to get part 2, even though I hear it's not as good, but I'm waiting for it to get cheaper. So then I picked that one, and then of course, the next game here. Everybody better own this. We just talked about it. Scott Pilgrim versus the World for PS4. Fixie got this game.
Different cover to the one I showed too.
Yeah, I like your cover better. This cover is exclusive to like our store, one of our retail stores here in America's Best Buy. They got their own version of it. So yeah, Scott Pilgrim, 4-player. And this game, what's cool about Scott Pilgrim, it had online included with it when it came out. Well, not exactly. They had online came out as a DLC later, but you were able to play with people online on the PS3 and the 360 back in the day. And if you got a lot of people playing it, it was freaking on point. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and you got to experience this game how it should be. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim, definitely something every beat 'em up player should own. If not, then you don't deserve to be on the PlayStation podcast. You got to get this game.
That's a requirement coming on the show. All right, now show me.
You got to have your beat 'em ups together.
Oh, thank God I have my copy. I didn't even know, but I do.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show. Well, 5, but 2 of them wasn't able to capture gameplay in time. But we'll just go through those real fast. Next one here is a game that came out on PS3 and the Xbox Live service as a digital game. Finally got a physical release on the Switch. I didn't like the game at first. Unfortunately, I thought it was kind of lame until I got used to it. Basically, the game gets fun after you start unlocking the moves, I would say. That's when the game becomes good. But this is Double Dragon Neo for the Switch.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely something that
I love this game. I actually enjoy this one a lot.
Yeah, especially when you got the mixtapes. The soundtrack for this game is so good. Amazing. There's a song called Mango Tango, which everybody loves with the girls. She did such a good job on it. And the lady that sings that song, she does a lot of like video game music. From what I found out, she was on this other podcast and she was talking about it. But yeah, definitely a game that's fun and a throwback to the old school era of arcade games like Double Dragon, the original Double Dragon, just by the references.
It's a PlayStation release. I only got the Switch. I don't get it.
Yeah, I was hoping it would come out on PS4, but they said, "Oh, we want to make that Switch money." So everybody's playing it safe with the Switch these days. If you notice, like they don't want to take a chance on PS4. You know, actually you see a lot of companies releasing stuff on PS5 over to PS4, even if it's an indie game, which is pretty insane, right?
Yeah, big time.
I don't get it. Yeah, I love this part in the level where you go in the building and it freaking takes off into space. I was like, what the hell's going on here, dude? Freaking insane game. A lot of fun. And a lot of people should pick this up if they get a chance to, you know, or just play it any way you can.
I liked this game. I know not everybody loved it, but I liked this game a lot. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah. Right on. Okay. I might get heckled for this next game, but I'm sticking to it. If this game came out back in the day on 8-bit Nintendo, everybody would have loved it. It would have been great. But it came out a few years ago, and people were kind of upset about it. And I kind of get it. But Double Dragon 4 for the PS4 and Switch, they kept the 8-bit graphics and made it a direct sequel to Double Dragon 2, which is just me playing it on a live stream a few years back. And I was having a good time with it. I look at games. I take games for what they're worth to me. Like I immediately when I played this game, I said, "Man, if this game came out back in the day, I would have loved it," and I still loved it. But a lot of people bashed it as being just like unpolished or whatever like that. And they got to remember, a lot of the games back in the day were unpolished too, but we still found a way to have fun with them, you know. So, but yeah, Double Dragon 4. I think
I didn't mind that someone in the comments telling you to play Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Someone in the YouTube comments is like, play Bloodborne.
I still need to play Bloodborne. I hear it's pretty terrifying on certain parts in that game. I need to pick. I saw it for $10 a while. I need to pick it up. Another game.
One of my favorite games of all time. I think it's amazing, but you have to be into Dark Souls games to get out of it. You know,
man,
one of those games that you have to learn the controls. You got to learn the boss fights. It's like a dance every fight.
Really?
Yeah.
But once you get it down, though, you'll be good.
Yeah, I felt like the final boss fight was just a choreographed dance that we did perfectly, and it just felt so amazing.
Okay, so winding this down kind of. I got one surprise game for everybody towards the end. It's not a beat 'em up game, but I think it's a game we should talk about. But here is Young Souls. I wasn't able to capture the footage for it, unfortunately, but Young Souls has kind of pulled me into it. These kids, it's an adventure beat 'em up game where you can kind of like level up and buy moves and stuff like that. It's really freaking cool. Very story driven, you know, so and just overall impressive. Like the game has a hub where you're in the city, you go to the store, you go to your house, you're into this dimension, you go to this other world, beat up enemies and stuff like that. But it really kind of like took me like, wow, this is actually a really cool game. So definitely something people should look out for. It's actually coming out. Limited Run is actually put it on Amazon, I believe, on the PS4 and the Switch. So if you want to get a retail copy of it, boom, you could get it there. Next game here is a classic we all love, the Ninja Saviors. Also, the Saviors. This one, well, you guys remember this game? The original game came out in the arcade, and it was like that long screen arcade game. And this is like a prequel sequel to it, but it came out on Super Nintendo.
Reimagining or something like that.
Yeah, but what they did, they added 2 co-op in this version, so it makes the game immensely a lot more fun. And a lot of people don't know about this one, so it's on Amazon as well. I think a lot of people should pick this one up.
Johnny. Happy Console Gamer is where I heard about that game. He loves that game. He was raving about it, so I picked that up when it came out.
And lots of Double Dragon. We got Double Dragon Gaiden. Now, look, I'm not saying this is a great game, but it's kind of unique how it is. I would say I'm still playing a little bit, I'm about halfway through it. I'm still trying to get a good feel for it. But this is one of those games that starts off easy, and if you get killed in this game a lot, then you got to pay a lot of money to get revive yourself. So it's kind of like it's a roguelike art, yeah, it's like a roguelike, my beat 'em up game, which is kind of weird, but it's still cool, you know. And I like how they put Marion in this game. She looks more feminine in this game, so I like the look of her in this one. She's
got a bazooka though.
That's cool though. She's like, man, I'm not trying to get close to these freaks. I'm just gonna shoot you. So it makes sense.
That's fine. That's fine.
Very cool.
Oh, that's in the game. She has that too. Like you get to play with her. I remember I have that, and I was like, "Do I have a freaking bazooka? Like, what the hell's happening? Like this is a beat 'em up." And
my last beat 'em up game. I'll get this one ready. Everybody better own this one too. It's a classic. Fight and Rage.
I was gonna say, if you don't mention this one, I was gonna say something. It's like my favorite. Probably one of my favorite ones that have come out in the last 5 years.
And what's cool about this, what I found out, Joe, is that you can unlock a co-op AI mode to help you out in the game. And I don't think it should have been unlockable. I think it should have been available from the beginning because this game starts out tough unless you know what you're doing. But If you're moving fast like I am right here, man, I mean you could get through some stuff. But man, this game is brutal once you know what you're doing. I just think it would be more hectic, like in a fun way, if you had more people on the screen. So that's why I want that AI person or at least some online capability in these type of games. But you know where I'm going with that. It's missing that online element. But still,
awesome characters.
Look at that animation, though. It's this game is like top notch, dude. Like 5 stars, seriously.
That character you see me using, he's based off like Chuck Norris, pretty much. So look at that move I just did. That was I forgot what they call that. That's like a Ninja Gaiden move that he just did, where he dropped the guy on his head. I pulled off, but yeah, man, this game is so on point,
really
man.
Fun. And
Big
graphics, visually, it's beautiful.
Oh, I've never seen it before. No, this is new to me.
It's on Amazon, so it just came out with a new anniversary edition. So yeah, definitely something that I think a lot of you guys will like. I would say, but yeah, ooh, man, I had to put in work right here. Look how the enemies are coming at me, man. Like they're no joke. Like they really want to take you out.
Yeah, and you can get it for $1, so I'll definitely have to check it out.
And then I have a surprise game, which I'll show towards the end when we're about to close out. I just want to show Figsy and you guys this game. Oops, I meant to close that out. Oh, yeah, what am I doing here? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got to get used to the hotkey so I don't have to click on everything. There's a way to set this up where you just push a button and everything becomes active, man. But Figsy, yeah, I got to show you how to do this. It's so cool. That's my surprise to you guys.
Everyone's going to expect videos now for all our pickups.
I know. We have to up the production.
This is I have all this footage ready from all the videos I've done because I save all the video files of videos I capture footage for or just trailers. And they're ready to go. So I just typed the name in the hard drive and they popped up. So, oh, yeah, I got that footage. Boom. Let's do it. So
that's cool. To go for sure.
That's true. You've done like 3 beat 'em up videos in the last few months. So you're like, oh, man, I'm ready to go. That's awesome.
I just couldn't find my Young Souls footage in my Double Dragon Gaiden footage. I was like, where's it at?
Now, I put out a stack here. Not all of these would be beat 'em ups as so, but they all have beat 'em up elements, and they're all games that I've loved. So let's get into it. Now, this first one's a beat 'em up / RPG. This is Dragon's Crown. So this is like a side-scrolling sort of beat 'em up, but it's got JRPG elements, so you level up and everything. But this game, couch co-op, is so much fun. When I get friends come over and they're like, let's play something, I'm like, we're playing this. You've never heard of it before, and it's going to be awesome. The characters are girls with big boobs and big bums. And
yeah, the Amazon is insane looking.
Odin Spear is very similar, but Odin Spear, you can't play couch co-op, so Dragon's Crown's my number one.
No, great one to pick up like the half man as a physical. Yeah, that's a good one, Figsy.
And you can get it on PS4 too, so if you don't want to have to fork out.
And they all link to each other too. They can do crossplay between. And there's a Vita version too, right?
Yep. There's Vita, there's PS3, there's PS4.
All crossplay. The benefit of playing on PS3 and in the PS3 is that you still have free online. So if you don't want to pay the extra price for PlayStation Plus, get your friends with the PS3 version. It's still the same. Yep.
The next one I want to talk about is Azura's Wrath.
Wow, nice.
Really, really fun Capcom early PS3 game. It's kind of like a crazy game. It's hard to sort of relate it to anything because I wouldn't play any games sort of like this, but I highly recommend checking out Azura's Wrath. You could pick it up cheap. I think it's had a bit of a price spike in the last couple of years, but yeah, you can still find this one fairly cheap.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I told people to buy during the PlayStation Store closing out because the DLC was on there that they add to that game where you fight against like Akuma or Ryu or something like that. You fight against Street Fighter characters and some other people you could download. So pretty cool.
And the next few I'm going to talk about sort of open world beat 'em ups. If that makes sense. So this first one's Heavenly Sword. This is a 2007 released PS3 game, but this is really good. It's almost like God of War style fighting, but yeah, like there's battles that will have like 200 people on the screen at once. It is absolutely crazy. But this is a really good game. You can find this for $5, and it is awesome. So I recommend checking out Heavenly Sword. Next one is, I don't know if you can call this a beat 'em up, but I googled it and it came up under the beat 'em up genre. Yep. So I wanted to talk about Dynasty Warriors because Dynasty Warriors games are crazy. Now I just talked about fighting 200 people on the screen at once. You're fighting 2,000 people at once in this. Like you can literally kill like thousands of enemies in the matter of minutes. It's fun. The types of games though that I get bored after like an hour. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out a Dynasty Warriors game just the once, see if you're into it. This next one's definitely not a beat 'em up game at all, but it has beat 'em up fighting elements in it that I wanted to talk about. And that's Sleeping Dogs. Now the fighting in this game is really, really like beat 'em up style. Like you wouldn't expect. It's nothing like a GTA or anything. But yeah, the fighting in this game is absolutely amazing. If you're a fan of open world games and beat 'em ups, give this a go because the fighting in this game is amazing. Now, the fighting is the reason people don't like it or love it. So take that with a grain of salt.
Okay.
And the next one, I just thought this is kind of a beat 'em up style game. Tokyo Jungle, right? Put all the elements to a beat 'em up. Just switch out the characters of animals, and it's a side-scrolling kind of game. I love Tokyo Jungle. If you haven't played it, you have to play this. Basically, the setting is you're an animal. You start as a Pomeranian in Tokyo, and all people are gone, and you got to work your way up the food chain by beating up other animals. Yeah, it's heaps of fun. It's as fun as it sounds, and I believe you can still get a digital copy. It's pretty expensive physically. This version here doesn't play in English. The only English version is the best of the PlayStation Network, which is pretty expensive now. But yeah, I'd pick this up digitally, or you don't really need English to play it, so give this version a go. You can get this version pretty cheap. And that's what I brought along today. I brought Scott Pilgrim along as well, but you've already seen that.
Yeah. Still, it's showing that everybody got to own that game, man. Like it's no joke. Like Scott Pilgrim is
100%.
I mean, I literally have every game Reggie showed except for Young Souls. I don't have that one, but like every other one I have, I'm like, yep, love it, love it, love it, love it. So good. Like those games are so good, dude. So I'm not gonna show off the same games, but I do have pickups in general. I want to.
Yeah. Let's see your pickup, man. Yeah, whether it beat 'em ups or not.
Yeah, I mean, all my good beat 'em ups are like my old stuff and they're my Sega CD Final Fight and stuff, but that ain't around. Let's put it that way. All right, so it's kind of all over the place. But I picked up a PS4 copy of Tales of Arise.
Nice.
I already have this on the PS5. I've already played it. I've already beaten it. But these are selling insanely cheap. These are like $10 right now or something like that. So I just figured I would get this just because I have every other Tales game that came out on the PS4. And this is exactly the type of crap that bothers me. Is if I have all of them except for this one, I just have to get it just to have it on the shelf. So it's literally bought this just to put on the shelf with the other ones. But yeah,
on the backlist, Game of the Year 2021. Haven't touched it yet. So many games out there.
It's a good game. They're about to release an DLC for it and an updated version of it. So if you wait, you can get the complete. That's anytime you see a game that's like being sold for $10, there's a new version coming out. They always do that. You're like, oh, I'm going to get a good deal. And then you buy it and you're like, oh, no, I got screwed. It's like, damn it.
Yep. You're 100% right.
So this is like, I love kart racers. So I got Smurfs kart.
Ooh.
I just love games like this. I like arcade racers. Like I'm not into sim racing, but I do like stuff like this. I love Mario Kart. Tons of games like this. And this one looks pretty good. And the last couple Smurf games have been solid, dudes. So next pickup, I picked up from the old Best Buy. I got the Contra Anniversary Collection.
Nice.
So I actually
that's the Best Buy cover that one, Joe.
I think so. Yeah, I bought it from Best Buy. So yeah, if I don't think this had like a different cover from Limited Run. I think there's only one cover for this one. So Castlevania had a Best Buy cover and a Limited Run cover, and I thought they would do the same thing with this, but I'm pretty sure this is just the same. I don't think there's a difference, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's the same too. I mean,
yeah, I don't think so. Good.
I'm guessing so too.
All I know is that whatever's in here, it's got some weight to it. So it's got to have something in there pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like it's got to have like a manual or a button or a pin in there or something because it's definitely got some weight to it. I'm not going to open it because I have it. I own these games, 50,000 ways to play them.
Yeah, it went on sale. I remember over the years, like for $5.
Yeah, I grabbed it digitally for a Switch. Yep. So, like I said, it's,
what did you think of the ports of those ones when you played them? You think they're pretty accurate with the reaction to the controls?
I'm not like a lag tester, MS
Mhm.
type person, like someone like I can't tell the difference between like 5 MS and 8 MS. I'm not like that.
The reason I brought it up is because like when I play a lot of those games, sometimes I notice that sometimes on a newer system, like I notice my skills aren't up to par. I'm like, what the heck? Like I'm not forgetting this stuff, but it's the controller. I think there's some kind of like latency lag or whatever it's called. So yeah.
Sure, it's the controller.
No, dude, it is. If you try to play, I can't play the original Contra or Super, like the Nintendo games. Like I have to have the D-pad. That's I go talk about D-pads for an hour, but something happened where they stopped. Nintendo made the perfect D-pad ever for the NES, and then no one ever could make a good D-pad ever again, as far as I'm concerned. Like it's so much better than everything else. Although I do like the PlayStation D-pad. It's just, I don't know. I do like it. Yeah, well, all of them are all right, but the PS1 especially, like, I spent so many hours playing Tekken and shmups and stuff with it. I really do like that D-pad. Anyway, I talked about D-pads for a while. Seriously. I really could. That's like a topic of my, it's like a big thing for me because I like shmups, so you can't freaking use, you got to have a D-pad sometimes. Like, when you're trying to micro move on boss, like I play with analogs, and then when I get to a boss fight I switch to D-pad so I can do like tiny movements and stuff. Yeah. That's how I usually play, and like if you have a crappy D-pad it sucks. Anyway, I got 5 and wrench. Again, I've been meaning to pick this up. I like platformers. There's they do have like a deluxe edition or some crap you can get, or a special edition that's like a little bit more expensive, but this was insanely cheap and I wanted to pick this up. And I just like 3D platformers and stuff like that. And this one looks pretty cute, so looks fun. I picked up Destroy All Humans 2.
Very nice. I love the artwork on this. How good is the no multiplayer down the bottom one?
Yes, I don't know if you realize it doesn't have multiplayer or it's a single player game. If they made that clear enough for you guys, it's a single player, no multiplayer. Like,
I never got into the PS2 versions of the game, so I might actually look into the one you got.
Fantastic games. They're all classics.
Yeah.
I was gonna pick them up on PS2 but now I don't have to because I picked them both up on PS4, and I haven't played these either, but they both look super fun, and I might even stream these games because they look kind of funny. I think they'd be fun games to stream, like games that are actually funny, and especially if you can blow stuff up and mess with people and do stupid crap, that would be fun. Mm-hmm. And then I also picked up One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. I've been picking up all the One Piece games, and I've been picking up fighting games, so it's kind of made sense. I picked this one up. It's like an arena fighter type anime game. There's a million games like this, like the Dragon Ball games and the Naruto games or anything like that.
I sold my copy of that on PS4 because I already own it on PS3.
There you go.
Didn't pass my rule of I don't need this game twice.
Yeah, I don't have that rule. I own games like 4 times.
One day, Joe. One day.
Like I own this one on the Wii U, but I picked this one up for the 3DS. I got Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. I can't say.
Would it have like 3D elements though on the 3DS, or is it just like a straightforward?
No, it'll have 3DS. Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit different game then, technically.
Correct. Yeah. And these games are fun. I like the Yoshi games. They're not, I'm sure if you've played a Yoshi game, you know what to expect. I picked up Street Fighter 4.
Nice. 3D edition.
Yeah, that's actually cool. Yeah. Man, it's kind of crazy. I found out that the online's going down for 3DS games because you can play people online.
And Wii U. 3DS and Wii U is going down, which, sucks because, like, does that mean Mario Maker's dead? At the end of Mario Maker 1? Because I know there's people that, like, literally still play that and stream it all the time. That sucks, dude.
I would think that something popular like that, like hackers will be able to get something back online for it, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
I hope so. I mean, that's the one that I'm like, that sucks because Mario Maker 1, like, there's content on there. Think of all the years of content of levels of people have made.
Yeah, the people made
gone now. It's just dead now. Just like all that's just gone. Just no more. Yeah.
Are the servers just expensive to keep up for these old systems? Is that why Nintendo's shutting stuff down, or they just feel like it's not working? Like it's not.
API costs are always going up, so they're probably getting more expensive, and Nintendo aren't making more money on them. So it's probably, hey, we lost 10 grand last year, but this year we lost 15 grand, so it's time to cut our losses on this.
Do you think they should just raise the price to cover so people can cover down for it, or that probably wouldn't work because a lot of people would just probably just say no because they moved on.
Well, if they
Sure,
only charge people a monthly fee for online, maybe they could cover. Oh wait, they already charge everybody for online. Why can't you keep the servers up, dude?
The best
They already.
place to play online for free is the PS3 PSN network. So
Agreed.
For now,
it's free.
Till it.
They tried to shut it down, but we stopped them before, Figsy. I think they that was 3 years ago, I think. So we kind of shut them down from stopping it. So I think we're going to be safe. I don't know. We'll see. But it is on borrowed time, I think.
I think every few years they'll announce it just to boost the sales in the shop, and then that's it. They'll never close it.
I don't think they were. Do you think it was like a ploy just to get boosted sales? Because I think they really wanted to shut it down.
No, I think that originally they were going to shut it down because nobody was buying anything. But as soon as you say we're going to shut it down, and everybody started buying stuff, they were like, "Hell yeah! If you guys want to spend money, dude, keep it going,
leave it open."
Which was crazy because you could tell the PSN store, like for PS3, is so messed up how it navigates and lags. It's like, dude, there's no maintenance going on here at all. But yeah, it's still there. So
all right, I got two more real quick. So this speaking of kart racers, they released this collection. It's the Nickelodeon Kart Racers collection. It's got all 3 games on one cartridge.
Really? No download. Perfect.
So I guess everything's on there except for the 3rd game. Apparently there is some DLC that is not on the cartridge. So there's there's a little DLC that you can buy for one of the games. But either way, 1, 2 is complete and the 3rd game's on here, and it's all on one cart. So
is that available on the PS4?
No,
only on exclusive. Okay.
As far as I know,
we're talking about DLC on disc. Did you guys hear during the week that the new Horizon Zero Dawn Game of the Year edition is going to be on 2 discs? So they're having all the game on the disc. How good is that?
You mean Forbidden West?
Yeah, Forbidden West. It's going to come with 2 discs. All the DLC is going to be on the disc.
No, I didn't know that, man. I'll probably pick that up because what I have the PS4 version of the game, which is you can play on the PS5 upgrade, but I'll just get that version that has everything to have the complete game. I'm going to buy it again. But I actually like the game, even though I like the first one better. But yeah, cool.
I'm always excited to hear that news.
I'll support any company that does that.
Did you guys play those games and beat them? The Horizon games?
I loved the first one, but the second one came out a week before Elden Ring, so it was just
so it got through you. You know what? Want to hear a funny story? So Jason beat the first one and loved it, and he played the second one and was kind of like he fell off from it. So every time I go to his house, we play it to get him further in the game because we're gonna beat the game. I'm thinking we're gonna beat the game before the end of the year, hopefully. But man, we sit and play it together, man. Like it's funny how me and Jason we'll play games together. Like he'll get to a part of a game. He may fall off from us. I said, Jason, you got to finish this game. Let's do it. He's all right. Let's do it. So we played a part. He was stuck on with Dead Space Part 1, and he got past it. And then I just took over, and I beat the game at his house. It was like really cool. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been playing Dead Space 1 right now, the remake. It's so good, dude.
Is it scary?
No. I mean, yes, no. For me,
we're old school, man. So it's hard to get us. But originally when that game came out, it scared me.
I don't. It's got some different jump scares, and it's definitely like the ambiance and the. You know what? Actually, I love most about the game is the sound design. Holy.
Oh,
crap.
The sound, the stuff you hear, yeah.
So amazing, like the sound and the voice and the music and the ambiance and the just the machines and when you and I even like this. I love when you like upgrade your suit and you're like in the shop and the shop opens and you walk inside the machine. Oh, so cool, dude! It's awesome. Yeah. I'll beat it in like a week or 2, and that for me is amazing. You know, it's a good game if I can just I can't stop playing it and I just like crush a game like that. Yeah, it's really good.
Right on, man.
All right, I got one more. Let me get one more. All right, so I got this last one.
Sydney Hunter
collection for the Evercade.
It's on the Evercade.
Yeah, so
I need to pick that up.
They got 4 new carts coming out. They got this one, the Sunsoft collection, Pico collection, I think, and then God, I don't remember what it's called, but it has like flashback and it's like something movie collection or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, but I ordered this one and I ordered the Sunsoft collection, and these games are cool. They're like retro inspired games. There's like I think is the first one Atari. I don't remember. It's like Atari and then 8-bit and then 16-bit. They have like 3 different games, and then there's this other game on here called Jester. But Evercade is the best, dude. $20, you get all these games, and like if you bought them any other way, you spend a lot more than that. And like the Sunsoft collection they're coming out with, it's $20, and it's got some. It's got the what the heck's that game? That new Nintendo Gimmick, I think it's called, or whatever. They just got released by Limited Run or something.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like it's like $40 on the Switch to buy a copy of it, but it's on the Evercade. That's on that new Evercade compilation for $19.99. I'm like, Evercade, I'm telling you, man, you can't beat it for the money.
They're not milking their customers for money.
They're not, and they're getting exclusive games on their system. There was another game that's kind of like that game called it's an adventure game like what's that? I hate how I think of a game and I just forget it right away. I forgot, man. Damn it. But anyways, yeah, they got an exclusive game on the system coming out. And they're going to start doing more of those, which is cool. But
yeah, they have like a horror adventure game thing coming out. I don't remember the name of it either. It looks awesome, actually, though.
Yeah.
It's really good.
But yeah, Kyle, thank you for the donation. The cost of running servers specifically when it comes to security options, just isn't worth it to these companies. And I guess I get that too. I mean, they got to look at it from a making money point of view. But I don't know, man. I'm just nostalgic for a lot of this stuff, man. Because when you find out stuff is going away, man, you start thinking about
people the option to pay. I don't understand why not sell people.
They could do that, but it might not be enough people that's going to do it. But
it's a good point because the people making these decisions aren't people that like games. It's people sitting in shareholder meetings and they have to approve people that give them money. So it's like asking, hey, we want more money for these big projects. Well, this project's not losing money, so I want you to cancel that before I give you money to make the Switch 2, for example. And that's what these companies will do. So even if they don't want to cut the games, if they're not making money, then they have to because, they have to go to shareholders and bosses.
Maybe they could give the resources up to somebody who would make a new server. That'd be kind of cool, right?
Fan-made servers or something. I'm sure there's people out there that would pay to keep Nintendo servers online.
Yeah. 100%. Like people are indoctrinated when it comes to Nintendo stuff. Like they're like, "What? Pay money, no problem."
I have something really cool to show you guys. That's
Nintendo fans are the most passionate fans. I'll give it.
What do you got, Fix?
So this is an Xbox controller. It is a boxed Xbox 360 entertainment pack. It comes with a controller and 6 games, including Bejeweled, Outposts, Chalupa, Texas Hold'em, Geometry Wars. Yeah, it's a pretty cool pack. This one was only released in Australia. This one's sealed. It's going to a friend overseas.
So is there like a disc in it, or is it like?
It comes with this collection here.
Oh, okay. Is that unique to that set? You can't buy that anywhere like that.
I think you can buy it by itself. I've seen it before. But yeah, this box is exclusive to Australia.
Well, Geometry Wars is a good game, at least.
Yeah, heaps of fun. Geometry Wars. OG.
Yeah, right on. Well, I guess I'll show you the surprise game that I wanted to show you guys. That hopefully you guys own this game already, and everybody's watching. Don't worry, the game's not going to break the bank. Just because I'm mentioning it, it's just something good that you guys might want to pick up as a physical. So, dude, I got this game and I was blown away by it. It's how dark it is. It's made by the same creator who created Alone in the Dark, and this game is called Too Dark. Now,
I have heard of this one.
Yeah, Too Dark is insane because this game starts out, and while you guys are like talking about doing your pickups, I downloaded a trailer for it. It's about a man who goes out to the woods with his family and kids, and they're having a camping trip. The kids go off, or he goes off and comes back there, screams, and his wife gets killed, and his kids are in the back of a bus that's driving off. So it's very dramatic in the beginning of the game, and pretty much he's a detective that's trying to save kids out throughout the game. So it's kind of like a survival horror. You go in these creepy spots, and you're like kind of like whether you have a gun or not is dependent sometimes. But these killers are like after you, and you got to hide, save the children. It's just really reminds me of a top-down Zelda game, but obviously you can't just go out and slash people. You got to like sneak the kids out. You got to be ready to take on these enemies, and it's really a cool game. But I think it might throw a lot of people off because it's a bit dark. But
very dark.
Yeah, so especially with what happens in the beginning, how your wife gets it's like, man, what the heck is going on here? But it tripped me out. But it's definitely a good game. Has multiple endings, 3 endings. I got the best ending, thankfully, because I feel like the bad ending of the game would have just like made me depressed. Like, I'm talking about the kind of depressed when you beat Silent Hill for the first time. You don't know how to get any of the endings. You get the worst ending ever. You're like, what happened, dude? Like, what did I do? So I still remember how bad I felt when I beat Silent Hill. I was like, dude, nothing happened.
Oh.
Like, what? I did everything. I thought I did everything right, and then next thing you know, you wake up in the car and like none of this happened, and you're dead. It's like, what the worst ending ever.
Dude,
Yeah.
I just played through Road 96 and got the worst ending.
Are you serious, dude? I got the best ending the first time I played that game. Yeah, Road 96 is a cool game too. But yeah, this comes with
I definitely felt not happy after I beat it. I was like, damn it, what a waste. What a terrible feeling.
It comes with a soundtrack, a steel bookcase, as you see here, and it comes with an art book too. So I was like, yeah, they gave us a good package here, I would say. So
yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
I got that bad boy.
Joe, I knew you were gonna have it, man. I knew you were gonna have it.
I got it sealed. I've never opened it because it's such a nice set. Dude, you want to talk about some weight? This thing is a tank.
Yeah.
You might want to get your money's worth when it's like that.
I think Fixie should pick it up, though.
Comment quickly from Star Platinum saying that a lot of the Dark got delayed. The remake got delayed till January. It was supposed to come out this month. And I'm like, I don't look at delays like a bad thing now. So, like, you'd probably think it wasn't ready to be released. And if it got released, it was going to be a broken game. So at least in January, you're going to get a polished product. So, yeah, something to look forward to.
Well, do you like when they put, like, real actors in games? I feel like it limits it in a way sometimes. I mean, it could work, obviously, but I don't like it. And a game I'll mention that I didn't really like it in was, you guys remember Beyond Two Souls?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love that game, but I just don't agree with having like a real actor, or like a famous actor or somewhat famous actor starring those games or whatever like that. And then they should start like to use like more low budget actors that are not really known instead of someone that's known in those type of games. Because I feel like, I don't know, man.
Well, I can think of a game that did it really well. Afro Samurai was amazing, and it was because of the voice acting.
I never played that. That's Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yeah, and it just made the game. Oh, there was another one. Oh, Portal. The voice actor of Portal.
Yeah, but the voice acting is different than having the actor.
The motion caption actor in there, the real actress, like I think it's Elliot Page now. It was Ellen Page. No, I can't remember the name of her now. She transitioned or whatever like that, so it's like different. But yeah, yeah.
But to add to that, if you're gonna get a famous actor in, it takes a lot of the resources away from everything else in the game. Because if you're paying this famous actor, then where's the rest of the budget going into? Everyone else.
I'm glad they got William Dafoe in it, because I always think he plays a great villain. Like, I remember William Dafoe, like the first time I actually saw him in the movie Speed 2, Cruise Control, which is like one of the worst movies ever. But his over the top acting as a villain in that movie was insane, dude. Like, even when he's about to die, he started laughing hysterically. Like, it was like, dude, it's like he didn't even care he's about to die. He just laughed it off. It was great. But yeah,
it's awesome.
Oh yeah, Too Dark. Fixie, are you gonna pick it up?
At some point. It was one of those ones that was on my list, but now that I've slowed down in collection, people
in the chat, we got to get Fixie. People in the chat, we got to get Fixie to get this game immediately. Fixie's gonna wait like a couple years from now. The game's gonna go up like $40.
It will be a collectible game because that version is like the only version. You can't. There's no regular.
Once they're sold out, they're gone. So and it hasn't caught on because it just hasn't got popular enough yet. But we're gonna push Fixie to get it hopefully soon, but sooner than later, I would say hopefully.
Was anyone over in Europe that wants to trade me for it? I got plenty of trade bait.
Yes, Fixie has trade, so make that happen with him. Fixie's not trying to drop any money right now, so do a trade with him and give him that
Probably
game.
Got 1,500 games for sale right now, so if you're after anything, check out the eBay store, and I can hook you up with some good prices.
Is the eBay store in the link?
Yeah, it's in the link.
Right on.
Fixie Games. It's easy to find.
Right on, man.
Well, guys, we might call that a day. This is our beat 'em up special. Reggie, thanks so much for coming back on. The videos were awesome. That blew me away.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna get you guys. That's why I was delaying. So yeah,
that's awesome, dude. Worth it.
If you're watching, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Reggie's almost at 100K. I'm almost at 4K. We got some milestones coming up. Joe's.
I just hit 20 subs on my YouTube channel, guys. Let's
Right
go.
Right on, man.
You're like, yo, baby. Hey, you got to start from somewhere, right? The first 100 are the hardest to get.
That's right. I'm giving away a copy of Elder Scrolls Online once I get to 100 subscribers. Shit, you get 2. You want 3? I'll give you 3. Whoever as many as you guys want.
Sealed box of Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, actually, anyone who send me your address, you're getting a whole box.
I'll pay you to take it.
Just pay for the shipping, please. Anyway.
All right,
Yeah,
everyone.
that's
Have a
great
good
going.
night. Thanks so much for watching,
everybody.
guys. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
You found the